World League features a 35-second play clock, the no-huddle offense, two-point conversions, and radio communications from coaches to quarterbacks. The results? Fast-paced action. Tonight from Orlando, in the first of a series of Monday night broadcasts on USA Network, it's only fitting that we bring you a totally new look at the league and the game that has changed the world of sports. A view from the eyes of the quarterback. USA Network will debut tonight the helmet camera, an innovation that will show you football as you've never seen it before. Live from the Florida Citrus Bowl, it's World League football. The Orlando Thunder plays host to the San Antonio Riders. It is an absolutely perfect spring night in Central Florida, near the land of Magic Kingdom, SeaWorld, and Universal Studios. It is World League football time. Tonight, from the Florida Citrus Bowl, our first Monday night matchup of the year. It pits the Orlando Thunder against the San Antonio Riders. And hi, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler. Welcome to Orlando and our first Monday night matchup of World League action. It should be exciting. We culminate week one here tonight in Orlando. 4 games have already been played in a new professional league, the true globalization of professional football. We have 10 teams in 5 countries on 2 continents. Everybody's played but Orlando and San Antonio, and they're the matchup tonight. Let's take a look at the standings. As we told you, the North American East, there's Montreal on top as the Machine was a winner over Birmingham. In the North American West, on top, the Surge of Sacramento, a winner over Raleigh-Durham. And truly, the world is doing well. London and Barcelona off to a 1-0 start. Joining me, the second member of our broadcast crew. He's been the NFL's most valuable player. He's been to the big game in the Super Bowl. He's my partner, Boomer Esiason of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Boomer, welcome to USA and Monday night World League action. It should be exciting. We've got some innovations, that's for sure.
We do have a lot of innovations, Brad, and we're also going to have some new rules that these players are going to have to adapt to. For those players that started in the NFL, they're going to have to go back and revert back to college rules with a 2-point conversion allowed after touchdowns. Kickoffs fielded in the end zone must be returned or will be spotted at the 10-yard line. There's also no in the grass rule for those quarterbacks that don't want to be protected. No instant replay rule, thank goodness for that. And a 35-second clock between plays as opposed to a 45-second clock that we use in the NFL.
And of course that 35-second clock is urging these teams to speed up play, and I think after you and I had a chance to watch Orlando work out, they're not going to have any problem with that.
Well, Orlando coach Don Matthews feels that his offense is best prepared when it goes into its 2-minute mode. They go no huddle and they call the plays right from the line of scrimmage. Kerwin Bell has the entire playbook in his back pocket, so to speak, and he'll also be able to communicate with Don Matthews via the telephones. I also believe that they're going to throw at least 50 balls this game, so their ball is going to be filling the air, and they're going to be very exciting to watch.
And I think as we take a look from the North American West, the San Antonio Riders, we get a little contrast. I think maybe they're going to mix it up a little more.
Well, there's no question that Coach Riley feels that he has to slow this game down a little bit, something the forefathers of this league are not going to enjoy to see, but he knows that Orlando has drafted for speed, so he's going to go to the 50-50 running passing game. They're going to try to hit Andre Johnson and Ricky Blake up the middle to slow this game down a little bit.
A new league, new innovation. Do you want to talk about a new innovation? How about the helmet camera? Now this is a beauty, Boomer.
This is a beauty, and this is going to give new meaning to the question, what were you looking at when you threw that ball? It's going to open up a whole new jar of worms for us, but Kerwin Bell will be wearing this helmet here, and the camera will be right above his right eye, so the viewer can see for the first time exactly what a quarterback is looking at.
It is definitely going to be an interesting look. And the third member of our broadcast crew is going to give us a closer look when we come back to Orlando in a minute. We're getting ready for San Antonio and the Thunder of Orlando.
In making an artistic statement, one's personal aroma shouldn't do the talking. So I use Right Guard Sports Stick with maximum protection. A true artiste should be known for inspiration, not perspiration. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Maybe the reason more people switch to Glidden than any other paint in the last 5 years is because the end result always looks so beautiful.
Oh, so beautiful.
Glidden, a better way to paint.
It's a symbol of security for millions of Americans. A document that protects your rights in all 50 states. And an inspiration for all who honor it. It's the Goodyear Promise. Available only with Goodyear Certified Auto Service. It includes a nationwide warranty that promises we'll fix your car right or fix it again free at 2,700 locations nationwide. Good tires, good service, good people, Goodyear.
Nothing beats clean, crisp, and cold. Nothing beats the king of beers. Yeah, nothing beats a bud. Yeah, nothing beats a bud. Nothing beats a Budweiser. Ice cold Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud.
6'5", 294 pounds.
The World League on USA is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. With that clean, crisp, cold taste, nothing beats a Bud. By Kentucky Fried Chicken, nobody's cooking like today's KFC. By the Reebok Pump, pump up and air out. And by the Coca-Cola Company and your local Coca-Cola bottler.
The Florida Citrus Bowl in Orlando, home of the Orlando Thunder, where they have given us quite a menu already. We had a couple of concerts before the game, and we're getting set for the main course now as we start off our Monday night 10-week schedule on USA of World League football. The Orlando Thunder and the San Antonio Riders. And there's a look at the bright colored uniforms of the Thunder of Orlando, and that is their quarterback, Kerwin Bell, former star of the Florida Gators. Kerwin making his way right now to join the third member of our broadcast crew, who we'll go down to in just a moment. Michael Barkan is our man. It'll be on the sidelines all season long. We talked about helmet camera. Michael's got a nice look for us. Mike?
Brad, you're looking at me almost literally through the eyes of Thunder quarterback Kerwin Bell. He is wearing the USA Network debut, and I'm looking right into that face mask of Helmet Cam. And if I go to my right, Kerwin goes to his left. And if I go to my left, Kerwin goes to his right. And as you said, Boomer, this will answer the question, was he open or wasn't he? What do you think about this in the NFL, Boom?
I don't know about this, Mike. I can tell you one thing. It's going to open a whole new ball of wax for the critics who watch our position.
And the good thing about it, maybe Kerwin won't have to look at Barkan anymore the rest of the night.
Nice.
He will look at the Riders' defense, though. And both clubs will open in a 3-4 alignment defensively. As the captain's down there at midfield. Our referee tonight is Bernie Kukar. We're about set to find out who's going to get the football first.
I'll tell you, if Orlando's offense is anything like their jerseys, watch out. It's going to be fireworks.
Through the first 4 games, Wilmer, it appeared as though the defenses, for the most part, were ahead of the offenses. I think that might change tonight a little bit with Orlando, don't you?
Well, I think what happens, Brad, is these teams have only been together for 4 weeks, and it doesn't give the offense much preparation time. They have a little bit more intricacies to go through as opposed to the defense. It's easier to tell a defensive player, look, go tackle this guy. Let's not. And I think that what we have to watch out for here tonight is turnovers, and I think that usually is what plagues offenses early on in the season. And these teams, like I said, have only been together for 4 weeks.
As you see, the Orlando Thunders won the toss and elected to receive, so the fans have something to cheer about already early. You know, as we get ready for the kickoff, special teams is something that both coaches seem a little bit concerned about going into this one.
Well, again, it goes into preparation time, and only these teams have only had 4 weeks, and one of the last things that go on the drawing board is going to be special teams, and there should be some big plays, whether it be fumbles or kicks returned for touchdowns in this game. This is just going to be the way it's going to be because they haven't had enough time.
The man in the middle of that huddle is Mike Riley, the head coach of the San Antonio Riders. He was the one the most concerned concerned about his special teams. He said, we just haven't had a chance to work on it. Meanwhile, as far as scrimmages in preparation for the game, boom, Orlando has had much more work against some of the other teams in the league.
Orlando's had 5 scrimmages as opposed to San Antonio, who's only had 1. And the thing that Mike Riley gave to us last night was the fact that he's interested just to see how his team is going to respond to the excitement of this whole new thing coming on, and whether or not there are going to be many mistakes made.
There was one thing that was definitely in common with the two coaches as we look at Kerwin Bell, and there's the look that you are going to get throughout the night from our helmet camera. This will be fun. The two coaches told Michael and Boomer and I yesterday, you know what, guys, I'm as anxious to see what my team is going to do as you are. Right now, they really don't know.
Well, the best thing that we've seen so far is the enthusiasm. Everybody from the fans and the players and the coaches and all the people involved in the new league really believe that this is going to become something very big.
Orlando will receive. Teddy Garcia has got it teed up. Deep. J.J. Flanagan and Carl Painter. And Painter will touch it first at the Citrus Bowl from the 7. And out to the 25-yard line. And that is where the Thunder offense will go to work. Led by number 12, Kerwin Bell. As I said, the SEC's passing leader, career mark at the University of Florida. And he comes out to the huddle. There's Kerwin. Over 7,500 yards and 56 touchdowns for the Gators.
And you'll see now his offense, this will probably be one of the only huddles that they go into all game long. They're going to go right into their 2-minute hurry-up offense.
Mitchell and Jones in the backfield. Lassane, Simpson, and B.K. Williams, the wideouts. Behind Durden, Guerrero, Lasso, Aronson, and Withacombe, the big guy on the right side. First down. Bell with time. Got it out to Mitchell. First down and a lot more. And the Thunder may have points on play number 1. 75 yards, touchdown. Thunderball just struck Mike Riley's Riders. Eric Mitchell takes it the distance off the arm of Kerwin Bell. It is 6-0 Orlando.
One of the things that San Antonio likes to do on defense is play man coverage and blitz. And right out of the chute, Kerwin Bell takes advantage of it and hits Eric Mitchell. Man-to-man coverage against an underneath linebacker. Can't stay with that kind of speed.
Charlie Bauman in for the point after. The start has been perfect for the Thunder. We are all of 34 seconds into the football game. Eric Mitchell, the touchdown, is 7-0 Orlando. And here's another look.
As you can see, as Kerwin drops back, all he sees is Eric Mitchell coming underneath. Linebacker running with him man-to-man. That linebacker does not have the speed to stay with Mitchell.
And how did it look from the quarterback view as Eric Mitchell went all the way and sliced 75 yards? Well, something like this. 7-0 Orlando.
What's that cool going down? What's that chill rushing through you? What's that that takes your breath away? That's the taste of real refreshment. That's the real love Diet Coke. Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
Playing basketball is hard on your body, but it's really tough on your feet. The pump. Where were you when I needed you? If I could play today, I'd pump up for support, protection, and a custom fit. Hey, it's time to move to a new neighborhood. Pump up and air out.
Switch to the greatest sports performance shoe in the world, the Reebok Pump. Pump up and air out.
Not bad for Kerwin Bell for starters. One pass, one completion, 75 yards and a touchdown. Orlando leads, and Bauman to kick away. Andrew Johnson, Bill Hess, and Broderick Graves deep. And it'll be Hess from the 7. Bill Hess puts it out from the 26-yard line. Let's go down to Michael Barkan with the man that scored the first 7 for the Thunder. Michael.
Play was Dallas 101, Brad, and Eric, you were not the primary receiver. What happened on that one?
Well, whenever the secondary has the other receivers covered one-on-one, then I'm basically the open guy coming out of the backfield.
Is this Thunderball?
Thunderball. Then you hear all the lightning coming and everything, so we're the Thunder. We're just out to have fun. It's a job, and when you have an occupation like this, you can do nothing but go out and enjoy yourself.
All right, Eric, thanks a lot. He says he doesn't want to do this all game. He's going to get too tired. Back upstairs.
Now, the first play for San Antonio won't have the same kind of fireworks. Andrew Johnson maybe lost a half yard. And there's the quarterback for the Riders, Jason Garrett, out of Princeton. And Garrett joined by Andrew Johnson in the backfield. And we'll set the rest of the San Antonio lineup in a moment. The no-huddle look for San Antonio on second down along 10. Inside handoff, big hole up the middle and a first down. Ricky Blake goes out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. I think he's got the first down, a pickup of 11. Again, Jason Garrett at the controls. His brother John will be one of his wide receivers. And there's Jason from Princeton, school record there for 4,200 yards in the air.
Ball at the 36-yard line.
Ronnie Williams in motion now, sets up in a slot right, the tight end. First down, San Antonio. Garrett wide open in the flat. Ricky Blake. Blake into Thunder territory and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. The rest of the Riders' offense looked like this. Andrew Johnson with Bill Hess, Ronnie Williams, Dwight Pickens, and John Garrett. The front line, Husby, Kisilak, Vitale, Harper, and Layfield. And the Riders, with the no-huddle offense, have moved it crisply to the 40-yard line of Orlando.
Garrett's doing a nice job right here, Brad, settling his team down. Kind of a little bit of shock right now as to see that first touchdown happen.
The Riders' offense hasn't been in awe, that's for sure. First down. Quick hitch to Garrett, and Garrett turns it into a nice gainer. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Rob Sterling knocked him out of bounds, number 31, the strong safety.
Looks like there was a flag on that play. Looks like a late hit by Sterling. John Garrett just running a quick stop pattern, taking advantage of the cushion given to him by Sterling. Makes a nice move there.
And the hit that took him into the boards around the far side.
Probably first and 25 there.
John Garrett was with me in Cincinnati, and he was one of those fringe players that could have made the squad. But he got caught in the numbers, as a lot of these players have.
Here's another look from the reverse angle of the hit by Rob Sterling. Now, the hit wasn't as much as the fact he carried him so far out of bounds and out of the sideline.
Personal foul of 61 offense. Personal foul, 41 defense.
What we didn't know is that John Layfield, the right tackle, was going to be flagged as well, so we have offsetting penalties. Mike Riley wants an explanation. Layfield, 6'5", 253 out of Abilene Christian.
I think Riley has to be real pleased with his offense right now. Matthews expected fireworks from his offense, and Riley had some questions about whether or not his team was going to be able to sustain the defensive pressure from the Orlando Thunder. And they've done that very well so far. Jason Garrett is a smart quarterback. One of the things that Riley had said about Jason was that he picked up the offense immediately.
Defensively for the Thunder, there's the up front three, Bryant, Jackson, and Pressberry. Pressberry maybe the best pass rusher. Walker, Devine, Davis, and Williams, the four-man linebacking core. In the secondary with Tucker and Flanoid on the corners. Sterling and Billy Owens are the safeties. Jason Garrett, who started hot. We've got everything straightened out. First down at the 40-yard line. The play negated with the offsetting penalties. Johnson and Blake in an I backfield. Blitz. And with a big hole, Undra Johnson.
Get off.
Close to the 30 for Undra. Pickup of 9.
Orlando is really jamming that line of scrimmage with 7 guys. And if they don't hit their gaps properly and get the proper angles on the blocking, you're going to have holes like that with backs like Undra Johnson. And he's going to make some yards tonight.
Undra Johnson, who was a draft choice of the Atlanta Falcons a couple of years ago. They thought highly of him when he made it down to the final cut. Second down and 1. Garrett to throw. And got it. Complete to Dwight Pickens. San Antonio's moved it from its own 26 down to the 23 of Orlando. And who said the defense was ahead of the offense so far, Boomer?
Not in this game, I'll tell you. Garrett looks real solid in the pocket, throwing tight spirals. His receivers are catching the ball, coming back to the ball.
Pickens was the Riders' first draft choice from the wide receiver corps. He's to the bottom of your screen. First down. Toss sweep for Johnson. Looking for some room and found some down near the 16-yard line.
Ricky Blake made a nice block in the backfield. Free Undra Johnson to get around from that tackle.
Undra Johnson, we'll see a lot of him. We'll see a lot of Ricky Blake. And Broderick Graves is another guy that can bring some muscle into the Riders' backfield.
All at the 16-yard
San Antonio again without the huddle. Second down at 3. Garrett with time. In and out of the hands of Undra Johnson. Divided there for the linebacker corner cover.
You know, Brett, a lot of people wonder why teams run the no-huddle offense. A lot of people think it's gimmickry, and they try to speed the game up. But really, the reason to run that is to make the defensive linemen and the linebackers tired. You can see a lot of the defensive linemen now with their hands on their hips, and they're bending over and they're breathing. And it slows down the pass rush as the game wears on.
First third down conversion of the ball game. Third down at 2, San Antonio. They'll throw for it. And wide open is Johnson. Nice catch. First down. Wayne Davis knocked him out of bounds, but Undra Johnson's got the first down for the Riders.
This first drive, Jason Garrett has been very patient. He's been hitting his underneath receivers. They've been making the catch and making a good run for him. Just went after the weakness of the defense out in the weak side flat. Nice catch by Johnson.
And it moves it down first and goal. 9th play of the drive from the 9-yard line of Orlando. Inside trap and a wide gap for a touchdown for Ricky Blake. Well, the San Antonio Riders certainly had an answer for the big play pass of Kerwin Bell and Eric Mitchell. They just took it down the field 74 yards and stuffed it in themselves. It's 7-6.
Nice little trap, misdirection. It's the type of offense you want to run against a penetrating defense like this. The defense, Don Matthews' defense, is all geared towards each guy covering one gap and going into that gap as hard as he can. If you can get the proper blocking angles, there's going to be some big holes for you. Blake just found it.
9 yards for the score. And we're an extra point away from a tie ball game. Teddy Garcia in for the extra point. Up and good.
It's an interesting kick.
Kind of a line drive. Here's a good looking run.
Nice block. Complete block.
And we get one more look as we go to a break with 9:09 to go first quarter. The Riders and the Thunder tied at 7.
From the Far East to Europe. Across the Caribbean and throughout North America, only one airline covers so much of the world with so much warmth.
What kind of entertainment can you get for $3.75 these days? A half-price movie ticket, a video rental, or a Padres home game on cable? Call now and you, your family, and friends can get the full 50-game package for just $3.75 a game. You'll also get 4 reserved seat tickets to a home game, a $38 value, and our 3rd collector's edition pin set. The Padres home game package on cable at $3.75 per game. It's a steal.
Where should you fill up your Easter basket? Lucky, because you'll find we have all your family's favorite Easter trimmings at prices that are lower overall. This week, get Farmer John or Cook's shank portion ham for only 69 cents a pound. Save on USDA select large end beef rib roast, now just $1.88 a pound. And Lady Lee grade AA medium eggs are only 79 cents a dozen. So for savings by the basketful, come to Lucky.
What night can you watch primetime wrestling?
Sometimes I just can't seem to figure it out.
That's because WWF is now on USA Tuesday nights at 9, 8 Central.
The Florida Citrus Bowl. There's been a lot of offensive excitement already with 9:09 to go first quarter. It is the Thunder 7 and the Riders 7. World League action here on Monday night on USA, and Garcia kicks away. Carl Painter, 5 yards in the end zone, but he's got to bring it out. That's the rule, and here he comes. And he popped his way out to the 20-yard line. Roderick Manning on the stop on the special team. So Kerwin Bell should be well rested, Boomer.
Well rested. Kind of like deja vu for him now. It's got to start all over again.
While San Antonio tied it up with a good-looking drive of their own. They did take 9 plays, though, to go their 74 yards, 5:17 the elapsed time, and we're even at 7.
The San Antonio offense really came back and answered. And that's something that Mike Riley was really worried about coming into this game.
The look that Kerwin Bell has as he takes a look at the Rider defense. Statue of Liberty. And it's Mitchell again. And Room again. Lost the handle, but he got up to the 31, and I think he has the first down. Eric Mitchell out of Oklahoma.
11 on the play.
He's got 86 yards of offense already. We're in the first quarter.
88 Jones! 88 Jones!
First and 10, ball on the Thunder.
You not only see what Kerwin's seeing, you hear what he's calling. And it's a slant to Mitchell, and he lost the ball. Incomplete. In and out of his hands. Incomplete. Greg Ross there with a hit. It'll bring up second down.
Took his eye off the ball a little bit there.
Second and 10.
Looked like he had a step, at least, Boomer, in the right direction. But again,
We
no
have
instant
no
replay.
instant replay.
Second down at 10. Bell in trouble. Got away. Oh, and did he take a shot?
No, you're down. You're down.
We're about ready to find out how our helmet camera did, because it got dislodged from Kerwin Bell's head. It's still working.
I'd like to see this on helmet cam if we could just see that.
Folks, it took a licking. Here it comes. We knew this would happen sometime tonight. We didn't know it would happen this early.
Again on the play, third and 10.
Donnie Gardner just said hello, and then Bell got away, and Tim Walton said hello on the run.
Ooh, whoop.
Pass incomplete.
Incomplete pass intended for Mitchell. And Kerwin's going to come out, and he can straighten that helmet out a little bit. That's a look only you've seen of everybody here with our crew, Boomer.
He took a vicious shot. You know, one thing that helmet cam does not have, it does not have sound attached to it. You can't hear the grunt and the groaning that's going on. Really, the laughing of people coming at you really is what you're listening to.
So, Ray Criswell set to punt. Spent time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now back here in Florida on the professional level with the World League. Nice kick. Dwight Pickens is going to let it bounce, and maybe he shouldn't have. This is going to look good on Criswell's stats all the way to the 13-yard line. 57-yard punt. The reason they had to punt, the quarterback took this hit. 7:10 to go first quarter. We're tied at 7.
56-yard punt.
took a stand for all we stand for. You gave your hand when it was asked for. Oh, you are the ones who lifted us. You are the ones who kept the trust. You're the ones whose gift we must recall. We hear the children singing now for every hero. Sing it loud. We want to thank you. Yes, we want to thank you. You're the ones we thank you all.
When sports cream? When arms are sore? When legs ache? When muscles hurt? Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. No odor. Why sports cream? Because it works. Over 28 million adults get athlete's foot.
I'm Jim Bird. I had athlete's foot until I used NP27. It has an ingredient recommended by doctors.
Look, NP27 stops the burning, itching of athlete's foot fast.
NP27. Nothing's a better cure for athlete's foot.
I'm going to send you the best support available.
For this team, no mission is impossible. Counter-Strike on USA, Sunday at 9.
Brad Nessler and Boomer Esiason along with Michael Barkan back in Orlando. Boomer, you know, maybe the Thunder scored a little too early. One play, 75 yards. They looked like they were a little mixed up on that series.
Well, I think a little false sense of security has taken over the Thunder offense, and then all of a sudden San Antonio's defense came out, made some adjustments, and really laid the heat to Kerwin Bell. So now Kerwin's got to go back to the sideline. Just think about that defense a little bit more.
Speaking of adjustments, they're adjusting Kerwin's helmet and the pack that goes on the back of the shoulder pads. We'll tell you more about that in a minute. San Antonio's second possession. Andra Johnson again, left side, and the Thunder defense stretches this one out nicely.
Bob Flanoy did a good job there of fighting off John Garrett's block in the secondary. It's so important for receivers to block downfield. They're the ones that create the touchdown runs, because the last line of defense is going to be your secondary. And if you see a long run down the sideline, you know a receiver has either ran his man off the play, or he's made a nice block downfield.
No gain for Andra Johnson. 2nd and 10. San Antonio at its own 13-yard line. Ricky Blake, the single setback. Garrett swings it out to Blake. Broke one tackle. And he made something out of it out near the 20-yard line. Bob Flanoy made the hit on the far side on Blake. He is still going to be about 4 yards shy of the first down.
You know, we talked to Don Matthews yesterday. He also said that he didn't want to put any of his defensive personnel in a situation that was going to make them look bad. And so far, the entire game, they've played nothing but zone defense. And Jason Garrett has been real patient. He's done a nice job of hitting the underneath receivers.
3rd down. And a long 3. The numbers on Garrett tonight. 3 wideouts in the pattern for Garrett. In trouble, and down he goes. First sack of the night. Massimiliani, a linebacker, made the hit. And San Antonio will be forced to give it up. So both defenses dig in, Boomer, a little bit more.
It's a nice job by Massimiliani using his hands. Jason Garrett does what he's supposed to. He steps up into the pocket, but every now and then you can't ask your offensive tackle to hold him out for 4 or 5 seconds. Got to get rid of the ball.
High snap. Got the kick away. Harold Tucker, the deep man. The ball takes a definite Orlando bounce, and they're going to have it in San Antonio territory near the 47-yard line. Well, a 27-yard kick is all, with 5:38 to go first quarter. 7-7 San Antonio and Orlando.
Hey, that's not us. We're down here. We're Daihatsu from Japan, and we're new in the neighborhood. So you haven't seen a lot of Daihatsus here. Not yet.
But as word spreads about Daihatsu quality, we'll grow bigger. And we won't get a stiff neck from looking up at the neighbors.
With our Charade 3-door hatchback, Daihatsu quality starts from $63.97.
From Gillette comes Sensor, the only razor that can sense and adjust to the individual needs of your face. Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and individually adjust to your face. The closest, safest, most comfortable Gillette Sensor, together with the richness of foamy shave cream for the best shave a man can get.
This itchy rash needs special treatment. Maximum Strength Cortisone 5, with the medicine doctors recommend most, gets under the itch for soothing relief and help in healing. See? The rash is gone. Use Cortisone 5 with the medicine doctors recommend most.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
After a short punt, Kerwin Bell and the Thunder offense will take over at the San Antonio 44-yard line. Let's go down to Michael Barkan on the sideline. Michael.
Oh, hi, Brad. Just fixing up the field here. See, it seems they had a tractor pull about 3 weeks ago, and the field is not as green as you think it is. So the guys have been sprucing it up a little bit, but it'll be okay by the end of the game, I'm sure.
We just don't know if you will be. First down. Bell throws that one away. And again, some pretty good pressure on Kerwin Bell.
It's a smart play by Kerwin Bell, though. They're in good field position. There's no reason for him to take a loss. Rolling into the sideline. The sideline is actually an extra defender, if you look at it that way, and then he just got rid of the ball.
Kerwin hit his first pass, and he has missed his last 3. Lines the Thunder up without a huddle. 2nd and 10 at the San Antonio 44.
Black St. Louis 8. Blue, blue.
St. Louis 8 the call, and here comes a blitz. A quick handoff to Myron Jones. He got a little, maybe 2. It'll be 3rd down and long.
That was an audible by Kerwin. He saw a weakness in the defensive front to the right side. Most teams number their holes, the spaces between their offensive linemen, even to the right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 even the wide to the right, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 to the left.
Great watching you at practice yesterday, picking up everything as the quarterbacks called it out. 3rd down and long. Blitz again. Bell stands in, going deep. Got a man. Touchdown. B.K. Williams, 42 yards.
I'm not going to second guess Kerwin on that one, but I believe he was throwing that one to Simpson, and BK came out of nowhere to come and get it.
It looked like a Thunder gift. 42 yards, touchdown.
That's a guy who wants to make a play. BK Williams wants to make a play.
Told Coach Matthews, I missed him, Coach. Hey, he still gets the high 5 at 6.
That's right.
Charlie Bauman in for the point after. Orlando back in front by a touchdown again.
You'll see on the replay, Kerwin lays the ball up, and he's going to underthrow it for John Simpson. All of a sudden, B.K. Williams comes out of nowhere and steals the ball. That's a planned play to streak a guy down the field and underthrow it.
Kerwin Bell, touchdown passes of 75 yards on the first play. This one's good for 42. Rather serendipitous for the Thunder quarterback, huh? That's got to make you smile.
Oh, he looks like he knew what was going on.
On the other end, B.K. Williams and the touchdown.
B.K. knew what was going on.
4 minutes and 49 seconds to go first quarter, and the Thunder back in front of the hometown folks, 14-7.
You know, Brad, we were really wondering about the competition in this game and what level of competition it was going to be at. And I think it's an exciting game. These guys are playing hard. They're excited about their new opportunity.
As Eric Mitchell said after he scored the first touchdown, hey, it's our new job. We're out here to have fun.
That's right. And we even have a world wave going on right now.
Charlie Bauman set the kick. Andre Johnson, Bill Hess, and Roderick Graves. The trio deep for San Antonio. And again, it'll go to Hess on the near side of the 14. Got a seam, and it closed on him at the 30-yard line. Well, this is our first Monday night World League matchup on USA next Saturday. Raleigh-Durham and the same Orlando club getting together, or Sacramento and Birmingham. Check the local listings for the game and time in your area. Monday, Michael and Boomer and I will be in San Antonio at Alamo Stadium. Frankfurt and the Riders have at it, 8 o'clock, or you might see Barcelona and Montreal. That's all coming up next week on USA Network. Garrett rolls and throws to his tight end, incomplete. Ronnie Williams was open. He threw it a little behind it.
That was a play-action counter there. They fake the run to the left. The quarterback sticks the ball into the running back's gut, and Jason comes out to the right and tries to hit all the guys coming across at different depths.
2nd and 10 in there. 2nd and 10.
Just threw it behind him a little bit.
Ricky Blake, the single set back in a 3 wide out group. 2nd and 10, San Antonio at its own 32-yard line. The blitz coming. Down goes Garrett. Wayne Dixon just leveled it. Second sack of the night for the Thunder defense.
Loss of 7 on the play.
Mike Riley looks on, the head coach at San Antonio.
Where did that guy come from?
That was right off of Ronnie.
Well, why didn't Ricky pick him up?
Yeah, Ricky was inside, looked like tight.
Tommy Lee, the offensive coordinator there on the right of your screen, talking down to Mike Riley. Matthews, nice pass. And they're going to say caught it out of bounds to brother John Garrett. Good throw, just not enough real estate at the 40-yard line.
You're going to love the poor coaches up in the booth, the head coach down in the sideline saying, what's going wrong? What's going wrong down there? And they look for an answer, and they really don't have a reason either.
Garrett out with the right foot. Tommy Lee, the offensive coordinator there on the right of your screen.
That's a good play. Did you get outside clean? Nope. No, somebody came up.
Kent Sullivan in to punt for San Antonio. His first kick went only 27 yards. He got more out of this one. And still it won't take the right bounce for him. And the Thunder with a touchdown lead is going to have it back at their own 34-yard line. Greg Gilbert got down there to down it. Kick of 38 yards. Fans are having fun, so are we. With 3:22 to go first quarter. Here's a good look at the bright colored helmets of the Orlando Thunder. Hey, the World League's got it all.
San Antonio defense has got to hold them here. You can't allow them to get another score.
Bell off play action on first down. Incomplete. Thrown out, intended for Bruce Lassane.
Coach Riley said he was going to bring 5 guys in almost every play to pressure Kerwin Bell. And they put some good heat on him.
2nd down now. 2nd 10.
Mike Riley, a veteran of the CFL, as is Don Matthews. In fact, these two have seen a lot of each other over the years in the Canadian Football League. 2nd and 10. Thunder at its own 38-yard line. It's Mitchell in motion. Bell trying to get it out to Mitchell. And he got some heat. Greg Ross and Mark Ledbetter got to Kerwin Bell.
What San Antonio is doing on defense now, it's interesting. They're putting the nose tackle and the 2 defensive ends in tight on the 2 guards in the center, therefore creating a mismatch for the center. Very few centers can go one-on-one after they snap the ball. Most centers usually need help in the interior line.
Third down and 10 for Kerwin Bell, who's hit 2 passes in his 7 attempts. Both were touchdowns. Thunder will have to earn this one. Third down and 10. Fires it out. John Simpson made the catch, but he's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down. Got it to the 46-yard line where Gary Richard met him on the corner.
That was a smart defensive play by San Antonio. They allowed them to complete the pass about 8 yards. They just didn't let them break a tackle for the first down. Good defensive series for San Antonio there.
So Criswell will come in and kick it away to Dwight Pickens. First pick as a wide receiver out of Fresno State. Criswell got 57 yards at his first punt of the night, and he got all of this one too. Great kick. Pickens from the 10. Dwight Pickens got a dozen on the return after the 22-yard line. That's where San Antonio
brought down by number
11-yard return
Davis.
after a 44-yard punt. 1:41 to go. Boomer, that's not Keith Millard or Bruce Smith there. 14-7 Orlando.
The 5 heartbeats. Come on, let's hear it for them.
20th Century Fox proudly presents a new film by Robert Townsend. What made them different was their sound. What made them special was their friendship. The 5 Heartbeats, rated R, starts Friday at select theaters.
Let's take off our sneakers and get comfortable.
Uh-oh, sneaker odor.
Let's go to the movies.
Tame ferocious sneaker odor with Sneaker Tamers from Odor Eaters. Springy insoles with activated charcoal, the world's most powerful odor destroyer. Sneaker Tamers has it, Scholl's doesn't. Sneaker Tamers absorb sweat, destroy sneaker odor, guaranteed for the life of your sneakers.
No more sneaker odor.
Sneaker Tamers from Odor Eaters.
Did I see him? You know what he looks like? Yeah, on that right shirt, right?
14-7 Orlando. Kerwin Bell gets a look on the sideline. He's completed a couple of passes, both for touchdowns. 117 yards in the air for Kerwin.
Sprint to the script is going to be the play. Oh, yeah. On the rod.
The Riders have it back at their own 22-yard line.
Hey, Kenny.
The give to Undra Johnson. Tough run for Johnson. Got it out to the 30-yard line. Kerwin Bell was sacked the last series, and our helmet cam is going to give you another look at what number 12 saw coming at him.
Out of bounds.
Here it is.
That's a nice close look.
Look out, Kerwin.
I don't know if I like that.
Second down and 2. Make it a long one. Garrett in trouble again, and down he goes again. Charlie Jackson, the nose tackle, got to him. Third sack of the night for the Thunder defense. Jason's been running for his life a little bit, Boomer, the last couple series.
Well, both of these quarterbacks have been taking some vicious shots. You know, we knew going in that the offensive linemen would probably have the toughest go of all because they haven't been together. And those 5 have to work as a unit to be successful. Both offensive lines have had some trouble tonight.
Hess, Pickens, and Garrett, the 3 wideouts, and Williams, the slot man to the top of your screen, the tight end. On third down and long. And there's the screen to Johnson, but a flag down, and Johnson down for a loss. Charles Jackson having himself a series here. Bernie Kukar, a referee.
Looks to be a legal man downfield.
67 on the white. Ineligible receiver downfield. Loss of down.
John Vitale, the center, is the man illegally downfield. Took off a little early on the screen. And a great play by Charles Jackson, the nose man.
I'm going back.
I think the right guard, James Harper, has to be a little bit better of an actor. He almost pushed nose man right into that. And the idea there for the offensive lineman, especially on a screen pass, is to make the defensive lineman feel like you beat you.
Couple of kicks for Sullivan. Set for his third, and Errol Tucker back deep for the Thunder. He awaits near his own 45-yard line. Thunder's going to bring 10 people, but a nice high kick from Sullivan. Tucker takes it at the 46-yard line. 33-yard kick with no return, and 31 seconds left in the quarter. 14-7. The Orlando Thunder leading the San Antonio Riders.
Orlando can't complain about field position. They've had good field position all night long.
They took advantage of it last time when they started at the 44 and got the 42-yard touchdown pass in just a couple of plays to B.K. Williams. That one of two scoring tosses for Kerwin Bell tonight, as you see Orlando leading by a touchdown, 14-7.
There's been some serious pressure on this San Antonio defense to stop the Thunder surge.
Dual setbacks for Bell and a draw play to Painter. Broke a tackle. Carl Painter down near the 37-yard line. Got about 8. Gary Richard, the right corner, finally came over to slow him down. Painter, who spent time in the NFL with the Detroit Lions, kind of slipped down on draft day in the World League draft. The reason being, he told me yesterday, he said, hey, I FedExed my contract in the last night, and a lot of people didn't know I was going to play in this league. Orlando felt pretty fortunate to get him. We played one quarter at the Florida Citrus Bowl. And a couple of touchdown passes for Kerwin Bell, number 12, has the Thunder in front, 14-7.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find it.
What's that cool going down? What's that chill rushing through you? What's that that takes your breath away? That's the taste of real refreshment. That's the real love Diet Coke. Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke. Nobody's cooking. Nobody's cooking. Nobody's cooking. No, no, no. Nobody's cooking. Nobody's cooking. Nobody's cooking. Nobody's cooking. Nobody's cooking. Nobody's cooking like today's fifth. Hey, what's going on?
In making an artistic statement, one's personal aroma shouldn't do the talking. So I use Right Guard Sport Stick with maximum protection. A true artiste should be known for inspiration, not perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Back at the Florida Citrus Bowl in Orlando, where the Thunder, the hometown team, out in front after a quarter of play over the San Antonio Riders, 14-7. Kerwin Bell with 2 touchdown passes as he lit up the scoreboard with one play, a 75-yard strike to Eric Mitchell out of the backfield on the opening snap for the Orlando Thunder, and then came back later in the quarter, a 42-yard toss to B.K. Williams.
Check. Hey, let's go. Leo 112-9. Okay. On 2. On White. Ready?
Liz Leo 112.
On 2. No, White. How many times that happened to me? Every now and then you change your mind in mid-sentence.
Painter comes back to join Myron Jones in an I backfield. Play fake, and Bell airing it out long. Williams out there. Touchdown. .37 yards this time. Hey, whatever the call, it worked, Boomer.
It was a pinpoint throw by Kerwin Bell. I can't take anything away from him on this throw.
Not a lot of margin for error as B.K. Williams comes right at you for his second touchdown.
A little shoving going on there, but you have to be a receiver, has to be offensive in his drive to get the football. That's exactly what he did.
Extra point is blocked. And so the Thunder gets the touchdown, but not the extra point. B.K. Williams with scores now of 42 yards and 37 yards just a moment ago. And Don Matthews' offense is definitely working.
Good presence in the pocket by Kerwin. Sean Dykes gets a little bit out of position there. BK has good concentration on that football.
There's BK with a separation after, as you said, might have gotten away with just a little push with the left hand.
Hey, that's okay. That's all part of football. Nice throw by Kerwin. Again, a nice tight spiral. Now, Kerwin was one of those players, too, that just was at the wrong place at the wrong time. He was in Miami, had stops in Miami, Tampa Bay, and he's also had stops in Atlanta.
Kerwin said after being drafted by the Dolphins, hey, they had Dan Marino, then they had the old guy when he's talking about Don Strock, and he didn't feel he had a chance at Atlanta. He was there for a while and finally with Tampa Bay, and spent last year as a member of the coaching staff with Steve Spurrier at Florida. He says that maybe helped him more than playing football.
I think sometimes when you just get away from football a little bit, you coach, you understand just how thorough you have to be as a player to get the job done on the field. And Don Matthews said that helped Kerwin as well. He's a good student of the game, and that makes his presence on the field that much more important for Orlando.
Kerwin says he gets kidded by his wide receivers. He said, they call me coach because I never leave them alone. I want those patterns the same every time. And he said that's something Steve Spurrier taught him well last year. Your number 6 wide receiver should run the pattern the very same way as your top flight number 1 receiver does. Well, B.K. Williams has run a couple beauties for him tonight. The 11, big hit at the 22s. Bill Hess took a shot. And San Antonio, Boomer, they got to get something going now because the Thunder and Thunderball out in front by 13.
Well, they answered right off the bat in the beginning. Now it's time for Jason to get in there, settle his troops down, take control of this game. He's a smart player, and he's the guy that I would want in this situation. He'll get in there, he'll calm these guys down and say, it's all right. 2 touchdowns is nothing.
The opening offensive series, as you see the Thunder scoring drive, 38 seconds. Their scoring drives have been 49, 34, and 38 seconds. Andra Johnson across the 30. Sterling made the hit.
They've had good success running the ball. I think that if I was Mike Riley right now, that's what I want to do. I want to keep the Thunder offense off the field, and the way you're going to do that is by controlling the line of scrimmage and controlling the ball and eating up some time here.
Certainly a long way to go. We still have 14:20 till halftime. Second and short. Blake with a first down and a nice stiff arm at the end of a run that takes him out to the 43-yard line. Pickup of 11 and a first down, San Antonio. Bob Flanoy made the tackle.
7:23. 7:23 here. Billy.
Again, Tommy Lee, the offensive coordinator for San Antonio, with the call. First down.
He said 7:23, so I expect some sort of pass, play-action pass here. Well, I guess I'm not right.
Give it off across the 45 to the 46.
Stay up now, stay up.
To Andra Johnson behind the block of Ricky Blake. Curtis Williams in on the stop. Andra Johnson's been the workhorse so far for the San Antonio offense, and that's what we expected to see.
We talked about at the beginning of the game how they're going to have to try to control the game with their running backs.
Jason Garrett, there's a play fake, and getting ready to throw on the run. Maybe. He won't get it away. Got what he could and got out of bounds right near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a half-yard gain. Wayne Dixon and Charles Jackson ran him up.
We'll see this from Jason all night long. He has good running ability. He's mobile in the pocket. And as their running game gets better throughout the night, you'll see a little bit more play action faking and rolling out away from the play action.
36. Jason, along with brother John Garrett, number 88, right there in the corner of your screen. Third down and 6. And And he throws it out to his brother. And across the 50. Going to be short by about a yard of the first down, though. Billy Owens made the hit, number 42. And now it's going to be interesting to see what San Antonio does here, Boomer, with the ball in Orlando territory. They're going to kick it.
It's still early. They're going to try to put Orlando back in poor field position, something that they haven't really dealt with all night long yet.
The 49-yard line.
We're down in a long one. Both coaches kind of hinted at the fact that they would not be against using fake punts or field goals in a lot of situations. I don't know if this is one of them.
No, they're going to take the delay of game and probably go back 5 yards.
Now Sullivan will boot it. Tucker calls fair catch.
There you go.
Going to take a rider's bounce inside the Orlando 15 and down dead at about the 12. 37-yard kick. 11:47 to go in the half. 20-7 Orlando.
My wife sent me to Payless for some shoes. I didn't even know Payless had men's shoes. Well, right away I liked the place because there's no salespeople breathing down your neck, and they got all the shoes out. So you don't have to keep saying, you got this in a 10, have you got this in a 10? For once, I get a pair of shoes I like with no hassle. You ought to call it painless.
Right now at Payless, these men's shoes are on sale starting at just $12.99. For shoe shopping that's painless, who'd have guessed? Payless. Real is what we do.
Real thing, get the feel of the real. Coca-Cola classic, yeah. The real stand and get down, every beat just like this sound. Coca-Cola classic, can't beat the real thing. It's time they get real, get Johnny Gill. Those campfires, they're so united, refreshing's just like that. Can't beat the real thing.
Here's something for all you truck drivers to think about. There's an oil made special for trucks. An oil with the Shell brand. Oil that protects engines when they rev their highest and work their hardest. Think any oil will take care of your truck? Think again. Truck Guard from Shell.
The head coach of the Orlando Thunder on your left is Don Matthews. The offensive coordinator up in the booth is Galen Hall, who's a familiar name to college football fans, former head coach at the University of Florida. And, of course, Kerwin Bell was his quarterback there. And we're going to get a chance to eavesdrop on these two on this offensive series for the Thunder as they lead 20-7 with 11:47 to go in the first half.
Cover 2. That's great.
Cover 2.
Statue of Liberty again. Painter hits it out near the 19-yard line.
Sean Dykes.
Yeah. Have we gone with any Chinas yet?
Not yet.
We will. What else you thinking?
Yeah, we just haven't had personnel.
We haven't had any. We've been 3 and out.
Right.
What else you thinking?
Well, we got to go China. We got
Jay says
80s, 81s. But
he says
okay.
that
3 safeties helping
It'll be second down at 4.
So he feels good about that.
Bell had it swatted down at the line of scrimmage.
over here, you got BK
Third down, man. Third down now. Back it up.
6 on top. On normal distance.
Got BK one-on-one on 46.
Don Matthews talking about BK Williams, who's got 2 touchdown catches already.
Staying over here, and they just playing man over there. Now he's going free.
4 wide out group. Third down at 4. Painter in motion. Bell. The Painter across the middle. Short of the first down, though. He got it out near the 22. Had to get to the 23. Greg Gilbert put a nice shot on him.
Well, that was some hit by Greg Gilbert. He told us yesterday he was ready to play in this game. He was really looking forward to it.
Leading tackler is a junior at the University of Alabama.
And that's an inside linebacker that's playing his zone right there. He took about a 5 or 7 yard drop. Kerwin tried to hit him underneath. Greg closed on the ball real quickly. That's a heck of a tackle right there, too.
So nice job by the San Antonio defense. Criswell the punt. This one should be returnable for Pickens from the 43. And Pickens to the 45 of Orlando. So San Antonio is going to have nice field position this time with 10 minutes, 9 seconds to go first half from the Florida Citrus Bowl. Orlando leading by 13.
With every step, your child gets closer and closer to the problem of drug and alcohol abuse. Don't let it happen. Find out about drug abuse resistance education, or DARE America. It's an in-school program where community police officers teach kids how to say no to drugs the first time and every time. Support DARE America before your child gets too close to the edge. KFC is proud to be a national sponsor of DARE America.
There is an entire world in every grain of sand. There is an entire world of beauty, often unnoticed. Look, and maybe, just maybe, together we shall see the beauties that exist before you.
Jose Hebert Hair Products. Beauty recognized.
It's the final notice. It's the final days. Sun Valley Waterbeds is closing their doors forever, and this is it. The final days. Everything must be liquidated immediately. So come name your own price. No reasonable offer will be refused. Name your own price on waterbeds, bedroom furniture, sheets, comforters. Everything wall to wall must go now. Name your own price with no payments for 6 months. This is it. The final days at Sun Valley Waterbeds. Look for our addresses in the yellow pages. Name your own price.
I'm Dan Marino. Join me for World League Football as the Raleigh-Durham Skyhawks descend upon the Orlando Thunder, live on USA.
Saturday.
Thunderball with close to 200 yards in total offense already, and of that passing mark, Kerwin Bell with 3 touchdown throws. B.K. Williams caught a couple, but right now the Orlando defense is going to have to dig in because San Antonio will start its drive just inside the Thunder 45-yard line. Best field position of the night for San Antonio right here. Jason Garrett will throw the quick out. Nice job defensively by Errol Tucker after Dwight Pickens hauled it in for a short gain.
Just nice, tight, safe passes. And try to move the ball in chunks as opposed to the Orlando Thunder, who go for it all, it seems like, on every other play.
They sure do. Second down at 6. They back off the blitz, and still they get to make it Ricky Blake in a hurry. This is wrapping up week 1 of the World League, and here's what week 1 had already. London a winner. First World League points was on a safety. Montreal over Birmingham. Great crowd. 53,000 plus, but they saw the fire come up short, and Barcelona almost shut out the New York, New Jersey Knights until the waning seconds. The Knights got a touchdown. 3rd and 7, low snap, and hit Ricky Blake in a bad spot. Right in the hand. San Antonio will have to give it up. Well, they didn't do much with that drive, Boomer.
Well, they didn't, especially on 3rd down there. Orlando brought 7 guys. They brought the 3 down linemen and all 4 linebackers. Jason felt a little bit of the pressure. They needed a play there. They needed to make a play.
We have not had a turnover so far in the ball game with 8:50 to go. The clock running first half. 20-7 Orlando. They're about ready to get it back. Sullivan is in to punt away. Lazy spiral to the near side. Tucker calls fair catch, and this one is going to be a big play for the special teams for San Antonio unless it made the end zone. It did. They should have had that one at about the 4, and they let it slip away. The Thunder from the 20 when we come back. They lead 27.
refreshing, one-of-a-kind taste that's out of this world. You can't beat the real thing.
In making an artistic statement, one's personal aroma shouldn't do the talking. So I use Right Guard Sports Stick with maximum protection. A true artiste should be known for inspiration, not perspiration. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find it.
He's more than 5,000 pounds of power. Flying through water with the force of a hurricane. Just like that, he'll make you smile. Come make contact with another world. Shamu, only at SeaWorld.
They're making the biggest comeback in swashbuckling history. One for all, come on! Richard Chamberlain, Kim Cattrall, Michael York, the return of the Musketeers. Wednesday, April 3rd at 9.
There's an interesting end of the last play here. Tommy Stowers, number 37, if you can see him, he's the bright green jersey, if you can't already see him. I don't know what he was thinking about there going in after that football, but luckily for him, the ball bounced into his stomach, and he is down right before the goal line, and that's why the ball is placed at the 2-yard line for the Orlando Thunder.
So although our initial signal was touchback and that Orlando would have it at the 20, they thought differently, and now the Thunder from their own end zone for Bell.
Oh,
and lays it out. Oh boy, that would have been another big play. Carl Painter just got turned around and couldn't bring it down.
Kerwin throws that ball over his inside shoulder. It's a 98-yard touchdown.
And then we'd be close to setting another record. As the World League saw John Horton haul in a 96-yard touchdown pass from Stan Gelbaugh in the Frankfurt-London game. Second and 10.
SL, HR, F motion, F move.
He's going to sprint to the left. SL means sprint left.
Painter, the motion man, there goes. There's the motion to the left. There's Painter to the left. First down, out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Tim Walton knocked him out, but that time Carl Painter held on.
This is where Kerwin's coaching career last year helps him out a little bit. He sees the weakness of the defense. Don Matthews has given him the entire playbook, so he goes into his Rolodex, so to speak, and he tries to find the play to fit the defense, and he took advantage of it there.
What he's looking at on first down. Bell with time, going deep. Intended for Painter again. Gary Richard was back there covering from the corner.
I'll tell you, if I'm Mike Riley right now, I'm looking at my safeties and thinking about what's going on back in the secondary. That's twice that Painter has gotten open. Again, the no-huddle offense is really wearing down the pass rush of the San Antonio Riders. It's also confusing the secondary as to where they're playing. And again, these players haven't been together that long. They're going to be mistakes.
From behind, Myron Jones, who gets the call on the draw and cuts outside, and he's going to be close to a first down. And he just got it by about a foot at the 26-yard line. Gary Richard knocked him out. Nice run by Myron Jones out of Fresno State.
Myron showed some speed getting around the corner there. One thing Don did say he drafted for, he drafted for speed. And we're seeing that tonight.
Jones is supposed to be a 4.33 guy. I say supposed to be because sometimes I wonder about those 40 times, but he looked pretty quick there. Bell on first down. In and out of the hands of John Simpson. Simpson spent some time in Cincinnati too, didn't he?
Yeah, we actually had a nickname for him. We called him Bart. He takes his helmet off. You can see he has that stand-up haircut of Bart Simpson.
Well, the dude didn't hold on to that one. Second and 10. Painter in motion. Bell on the run. In and out of the hands of Byron Williams. So Williams looking for a flag, didn't get it. Donnie Gardner about set as we'll get another look to put a little heat on Kerwin Bell.
Makes it 3rd and 10.
This is a quarterback's worst nightmare. Look at that.
What a great look.
And usually what happens after they hit you, they come back and they give you a little bit of advice. I'll get you next time.
Bell is 6 out of 16. He's got a 3rd and 10 here. Thought about a Statue of Liberty, I think. And then went deep and got it to Simpson.
Nice throw by Kerwin Bell. Good poise in the pocket there.
Apparently designed play. They gave it the look of the Statue of Liberty and then got it to Simpson. 19 yards and a first down.
See, on long plays like this, especially where Kerwin has plenty of time, the defense really becomes fatigued.
Here's the quick give again to Jones. Big hole. And he's got about 16 more inside the Ryder 40-yard line.
Mixing up plays real nice now, Brad. They're rolling out a few times, dropping back. Mike Riley wants a timeout.
Mike Riley says, hey, guys, let's regroup before it's 27-7.
Defense led by number 32.
Maybe get a look at Bart Simpson. I thought the helmet was coming off.
I told him to take it off.
There he is.
There he is.
5 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the half. The Orlando Thunder driving again and leading by 13.
Looking good, you want Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up and never let you down.
You can taste it, you can feel it, you know you got it right. 'Cause everything else is just a light. Just keep your Bud Light shining. Everything else is just a light. You got to shine on. Everything else is just a light.
Over the next few months, I'll be analyzing the long-distance bills of businesses all over America to prove they're bigger than they should be. Here's a small law firm. In 1 month, they spent about $350 calling one area code. But look, their long-distance company didn't give them an extra discount for those calls. A completely separate 800 bill, and no way for the partner's business calls from home to be included on the office bill. My advice? These lawyers should get MCI Preferred, our ingenious new service for smaller businesses. With MCI Preferred, office bills, 800 bills, home bills are all on one bill. There's an extra discount on the combined total, another 10% discount on the area code you spend the most on each month. And in this case, a yearly savings of about $2,000 over AT&T's best price services for them. MCI Preferred can solve virtually all of your long-distance problems, except one. It can't pick up the phone for you. That you still have to do for yourself.
The Orlando Thunder with a 20-7 lead. There's a look at the current drive, and if it ends in a score, it'll definitely be the longest, most time-consuming scoring drive, because most of them have been in that 40-second range.
They're a big play offense, and that's what Don Matthews promised. He is delivering.
And he promised us 45 or 50 passes. We might end up with that many. First down for Bell. Sets and goes deep. Painter's open. Oh. And he couldn't hold on. And Carl's going to dream about that one tonight.
Nice throw by Kerwin right there. He's got to make that catch. There's a little out and up pattern. He starts out right up the sideline. Nobody's there. Again, it was a little bit of confusion in the secondary. San Antonio is going to keep getting burned until they get that figured out back there.
Working on Dykes, the cornerback over there. Michael Barkan on the sideline with a special guest. Michael.
Hi, Brad. I'm with Chief Operating Officer of the World League, Joe Bailey. And after the games you had this weekend, what do you think of this one, Joe? I'm 20-7. It's first half. They're airing it out.
Well, this is the type of football that we said we were promised to the American fans and also the Europeans. It's fast-paced, lots of action, and we think it's a winner.
You spoke about American fans. What about your plans to internationalize the league more and beyond what you have now?
Well, certainly we'll wait and see what we do this year, but based on the results in Barcelona and Frankfurt, which were sensational, we plan on expansion very quickly.
All right, good luck. Thanks a lot. Back upstairs.
On third down 11, and this time Eric Mitchell can't hold on. And statistically, as far as percentage of completions for Kerwin Bell tonight, it may not look too good, Boomer, but I tell you what, he's laying it out there and the guys aren't holding on.
He's on the money. And I'll tell you what, it's a quarterback's nightmare when a receiver drops a pass like that. I can't believe he's showing great restraint. Because my receivers know I'd be screaming at him right now. But no, that's a part of the game. They got to work together as well. And they will, and they've showed some explosiveness.
Briswell now will look to try to down one inside the 10. Hangs it for the far side. And taken at the 8-yard line and back to about the 11 is where San Antonio will go to work. Brad Nessler and Boomer Esiason here in the booth at the Florida Citrus Bowl. We've had some fun already, haven't we? It's been an enjoyable game to watch. You know, everything that these coaches have promised has come true. Kerwin Bell has been on the money with the football. Jason Garrett has been rolling around back there. I mean, it's been fun, and the competitive level of this game has been it's been a little bit surprising. And here's a look at what we've got coming up on USA Network, as we've got the Saturday primetime games, the Monday games, the European specials, a playoff game on June 1st. And the Riders work inside their own 12. Andre Johnson out near the 15-yard line. Brings up second down and about 7. Boomer, how you like the look from the booth instead of the field? It's kind of interesting, to tell you the truth, Brad. You're nursing me along right here. You're doing great. I've enjoyed it. As we take Warren Moon and Dan Marino and Boomer Esiason off the field and put them in the booth here on USA. We've had a fun time of it so far. 20-7 here, Orlando. Off right tackle and a pickup of a couple more. Still 3rd down and almost 5 coming up. Andre Johnson, he's earning his keep tonight. We're down to 3.5 minutes to play first half.
Defense led by number 92, Henry Brown.
I would think the Riders would love to, if nothing else, get field goal range here before halftime. Since their first drive, they've had troubles on 3rd down and long situations. 3rd down and 3 here. They give the look of a running play, but Matthews will throw it and zips it out to Pickens. 1st down. And a nice job by Pickens to get out of bounds. Out at the 27-yard line. Another good throw by Jason Garrett. White Pickens will get a look. Does a nice job of pushing that defensive back off of him. We talk about guys that get in bad situations. Dwight Pickens, 8th round draft choice last year of the 49ers. How do you make that club at wide receiver? Toss sweep. Johnson with some folks in front of him. Andre Johnson out near the 34-yard line. Billy Owens came up from a safety spot to make the hit, and we approach 2.5 minutes to go first half. And we talked about that, Brad. A lot of these players were caught in a numbers game within their respective teams that drafted them out of the NFL. A lot of them feel like this is a second chance for these guys to keep playing and have NFL scouts watch them. 2nd down at 3. With a blitz, Garrett got around the first man. Flags are down. And he waits too long and still broke a tackle. And he's got the 1st down, but we got penalty markers all over the place. We may have a holding call in the backfield, as Willie Walker got some nice pressure from his outside linebacker position. Could be defensive offsides as well. That's what Mike Riley's hoping for.
White defensive end, right end, offside.
He sure was in the backfield awful quick. This is the no in the grasp rule enforced right here. Garrett waited and waited and somehow broke those 2 tackles to skip forward for the 1st down. And again, Walker, the guy that we said got pressure, was the man that was offside.
On the ready.
And we work our way down to 2 minutes to go in the first half. 2-minute warning with the San Antonio Riders at their own 40-yard line. It is Orlando in front, 20-7. San Antonio looking for more before the break. We'll be back in a moment.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey! That's not us! We're down here! We're Daihatsu from Japan, and we're new in the neighborhood. So you haven't seen a lot of Daihatsus here. Not yet. But as word spreads about Daihatsu quality, we'll grow bigger, and we won't get a stiff neck from looking up at the neighbors.
With our Charade 3-door hatchback, Daihatsu quality starts from $63.97.
The Orlando Thunder up by 13 points on the board and up by a ton in passing yardage.
Both quarterbacks, however, Brad, have been on the money with their passes.
2 minutes to play first half, and a first down for the Riders, who have mixed it up with a run and pass tonight, as we expected. This will be a pass, and Williams, the tight end, has got another first down and got out of bounds in Thunder territory inside the 49-yard line. Bob Flanoid ran him out, pickup of 12.
Williams is a man of a dying breed in this league.
That's right.
Everybody's going to this run and shoot with no tight ends. I like to see that guy, though.
Actually, the Thunder drafted as a tight end the guy they knew they were going to use at fullback, Stowers. That's because they were well aware that they didn't need a tight end. San Antonio with a little more conventional offensive set at times, anyway. Williams at tight end got him a first down. A little quick opener. And Andre Johnson off to the races down to the 32-yard line as he rips it for about 17 yards.
This is the part of the game where the no-huddle offense was really thought up, the 2-minute situation.
Mike Riley looking on. San Antonio Rider coach. Grey Cup champion in the CFL in 88 and 90. Talk about a naked screen. Andre Johnson, I don't know if he was waiting for his lineman or if there were none out there for him to hide behind. He lost almost 3 yards. Mike Riley with a timeout.
I think Jason was just a little bit upset right there.
It's the old screen that didn't develop the way you want it to, right?
I think what happened there is that the lineman got out there a little bit too slow. Quarterback probably threw it a little bit too quick. And the poor running back is hung out to dry.
Now look at that one on film. That's something else. Not a lot of film to look at for these teams.
Well, each team, they traded one film. And
580. Let's go 580. Let's go 580 right here. Right now. Remember, we got one timeout left, Jay. One timeout left, and we can try a field goal here, but let's go for it.
Right now, I'm staying in line until you give me the timeout.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, we only got one more timeout left, so we want to save it.
You hear Jason talking about we're going to stay in lightning, and lightning is their word for their 2-minute offense. Their no-huddle offense they call fire. Lightning is more of a hurry-up type offense.
Yours is a sugar, right?
Yeah, something like that. This play is 580.
Second down and 13 with 1:21 to go in the half. Garrett gets away from the pressure and throws a nice strike on the run.
27. 27.
Dwight Pickens got it and got out of bounds.
That's a smart play right there. You roll into the sideline, you hit your receiver right on the sideline. The play takes about 7 seconds. The clock stops when the receiver goes out. Good 2-minute call.
So Pickens got his third catch of the night. Already, the Riders definitely in Teddy Garcia's field goal range, but they want a touchdown, trailing 20-7. Garrett again to Pickens, but a nice job by Errol Tucker on the corner. And he stays in bounds, so we work our way down to a minute. Remember, the Riders with just one timeout left. They took one defensively earlier in this quarter.
Right now, Jason's trying to get these guys moving, and they're kind of tired.
76 degrees when we kicked off here in Orlando tonight. Garrett on the roll. As he feels the heat from Wayne Davis, he goes out of bounds. Let's listen in on the sideline again.
Let's go with...
Doing 541.
You want to throw one in?
Let's go with 8-14.
What is that? 8-14?
Yeah, flag route on this side.
Look for man coverage here, Jay. 8-14. Can you hear me? Look for the corner route. If it's man to man, 8-14.
What 8-14 is 3 numbers that correspond to a passing tree. And the receivers that he's talking to are the 3 wide receivers. One will run an 8 route, one will run a 1 route, one will run a 4 route.
Let's see if he gets his single coverage on 3rd and 10.
There's the flag route into the corner.
Just overshot Billy Hess, his H-back.
See, if there's one problem with the quarterback to the coach receiving deal is that
Garcia 0 for 2, both from a range that you should hit him from. 28 seconds to go. We're still at 20-7 Orlando.
Teddy was with Houston. He didn't miss many, especially against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Again, Mike Riley said coming in, Boomer, I'm worried about special teams. We just haven't had enough time to work on it. I think it showed up on the field goal units.
Well, you know, we've already seen 1 block kick. Now we've seen 2 miss. But you have to be pretty excited about the way the San Antonio Riders went right down the field there.
And if you're the San Antonio defense, you go, okay, 28 seconds till halftime. Let's not give Kerwin Bell another one.
On defense, I'm telling my safeties to get back 50 yards.
Bell slips on the 12-yard line and goes down. And Donnie Gardner is going to be the guy that will get credit for that sack. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, the Reebok halftime report. Tom Landry will be along, who is part owner of the San Antonio Riders. We'll have an interesting chat with him. Brad and Boomer, we'll hear from those 2 guys too, whoever they are. Draw play. As the half is about to close, Peter carries it.
It's good first half.
Stowers, the fullback, on the carry.
I thought it was a good first half for Orlando offensively.
And Kerwin Bell has 3 touchdown passes. At halftime, the Orlando Thunder get a standing ovation as they head to the locker room from the fans here at the Florida Citrus Bowl. And the San Antonio Riders, time for them to regroup at intermission to try to get back in the football game.
Both of these coaches found out a little bit about their offense and their defense in this first half.
Don Matthews happy with his offense, without a doubt. And though one of the pass plays may have been a bit of a gift, as Kerwin Bell actually hit a guy he wasn't throwing to. They'll take him however they can get him. 20-7 Orlando. And Michael Barkan down on the field with Mike Riley, whose team is trailing. Michael?
Coach, defensively, a little bit of a problem. You played some man, you played some zone, and one of your guys just said, hey, those are track stars out there. What are you going to do in the second half?
Well, we've got to pull things together. We've missed some assignments and flat turned a couple guys free, and the big plays have really hurt us. So, you know, that has really put us in a hole. Now we've got to pull ourselves together and make it come back.
Offensively, what are you going to do? The running game seemed to be a little bit stifled. You can try going screen right, screen left, and that also hasn't been working.
Well, we've had some things going, but not consistently enough. And I think we can run the football, but we need to open it up a little bit more the second half.
How do you like the helmet, Mike, and talking to Jason via the radio?
I like it. I think it's a real good deal. I really think that it's something that once we have, it'll be hard to ever get rid of.
All right, good luck in the second half. Back to you, Brad.
All right, Michael, we'll have more eavesdropping and more helmet camera action and more football from Orlando in a moment. 20-7 at the break.
When you're 5'8" and 140 pounds, you don't play a power game. You use your head, your ground strokes, and my secret weapon, speed. That's why I picked the pump from Reebok. When I'm pumped up, I get support, protection, and a custom fit. So if you want to beat those rock and roll tennis guys, pump up and air out.
Switch to the greatest sports performance shoe in the world, the Reebok Pump. Pump up and air out.
This itchy rash needs special treatment. Maximum Strength Cortisone 5, with the medicine doctors recommend most, gets under the itch for soothing relief and help in healing. See, the rash is gone. Use Cortisone 5 with the medicine doctors recommend most.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
The
Reebok Halftime Report, brought to you by the greatest sports performance shoe in the world, the Reebok Pump. Pump up and air out. Reporting from New York, here's Diana Naya.
Welcome, everybody. Legendary coach Tom Landry left the Dallas Cowboys over 2 years ago when he was forced out by new owner Jerry Jones, and I suppose we all thought at the age of 64 that Landry would just slip into football retirement and we'd never see that famous hat on the sidelines again. We were wrong.
I knew it was over with. I was actually trying to fade out of football in the last couple of years anyway because I'd been there a long time. I've spent 40 years in professional football.
But he's back. Coach Landry couldn't stay away from the game for long. He's on the field again with the birth of another Texas team, the San Antonio Riders.
They're doing pretty good, the Riders are. Usually the defense is way ahead of the offense right now, but the offense is moving very well.
Landry and his son, Tom Jr., have bought an 8% share of the San Antonio Riders. They're owners, advisors, and happy to be making up lost time together.
I've been much closer to my family. My son and I are in business together, and I've seen him more this last year or two than I saw in the last 20 years.
Well, I think it's like any father-son. I mean, you have great respect for each other and certainly know each other well. And Coach Landry's he's pretty competent in a lot of areas.
The coaching staff just can't wait to sit down and pick his brain on his offense and his philosophies and coaching styles.
Well, one of the things that was really intriguing to me about this job was the fact that Tom Landry was involved with the team, and that I would get a chance hopefully to spend some time with him.
Landry's experience came in handy choosing the quarterbacks and running backs.
He was down in Orlando at the draft and did a tremendous job sitting there. In fact, I kind of teased him. I said he stayed from 7 in the morning until 7 at night and then stayed up to 1:30 watching films, and I don't think he quit grinning.
It's a flashback for the man once behind America's team.
Of course, when we started the Cowboys, we started an expansion team, and we didn't have many players, and it was very tough for us. But everybody's about equal in this league.
Everybody may be equal in this league, but the San Antonio Riders have a distinct advantage in Hall of Fame coach Landry, a man who led the Cowboys to 18 playoff appearances and 5 trips to the Super Bowl.
Growing up, I watched Tom Landry, through the Cowboys organization. Then have him as part of your organization, what was it, 24 years later or so, it was very special to me.
It's an honor to have him part owner. And we hope that we can bring some of that he brought to football into San Antonio.
Much has happened to Tom Landry and football since 1960, but one thing remains the same, his love of the game.
Now, it's just enjoyment. There's not any work to it. It's just being interested in what's going on and coming to see the games.
Oh, it's really just fun for me. I enjoy it. I enjoy getting out and watching these kids because I think they're a very exciting group. They have another chance to play the game, and they show it. And we just figured that since we're a Texan, we're going to try to help the San Antonio be a successful team.
I guess us longtime football fans are happy to see Tom Landry back in the game. We'll be back with Brad Nessler and Boomer Esiason in Orlando right after these messages. You're watching the World League on USA.
Hey, what's going on?
If you have an insurance repair on your home and you have Allstate, it's in our hands. We know some very reliable contractors. It's our business too. So if you choose a contractor we recommend, we guarantee the workmanship of their repairs for 1 year. That's why you're in good hands with Allstate. A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Where should you fill up your Easter basket? Lucky.
Because you'll find we have all your family's favorite Easter trimmings at prices that are lower overall. This week, get Farmer John or Cook's shank portion ham for only 69 cents a pound. Save on USDA select large end beef rib roast, now just $1.88 a pound. And Lady Lee grade AA medium eggs are only 79 cents a dozen. So for savings by the basketful, come to Lucky.
And this figures the bottom line,
I just
Sam.
don't think you understand.
Late night, Sam?
Once again, Martha.
Look, Sam, we've had another great year at Winston Tire, right? Nobody can match our service or quality, right?
So?
So our prices should be higher than the competition, not lower.
Wait a minute. What do you think, Martha?
I always say, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Sheesh.
Winston continues rewarding customers with wholesale prices every tire, every day.
Late night, Sam?
Once again.
Sam.
Former Florida coach and Thunder offensive coordinator Galen Hall going over strategy for the second half, and I talked to head coach Don Matthews. I said, what are you going to do in the second half, coach? He said, more of the same. We'll talk to him in a few moments. Back upstairs.
All right, Michael, at halftime, 20-7, and Boomer, Orlando promised some fireworks offensively, and certainly they delivered. It only took them one play to get us on the board.
Well, if you're an Orlando fan or an Orlando coach or an Orlando player, you got to be quite happy with what has happened in the first half. I think Kerwin Bell was right on the money. And in the first touchdown, it was really a man coverage, and Kerwin spotted that and then hit Eric Mitchell underneath against the linebacker, and that linebacker cannot stay with Eric Mitchell. And that's just good, sound offensive play by Kerwin Bell. You get the ball into your best athlete's hands and let him take over from there.
So it took one play and a scoring drive of 34 seconds for the Thunder to get on the board, and the fans went wild, 7-0. But you got to give San Antonio credit, 74-yard drive coming right back.
We knew that San Antonio was going to try to run the ball, and with the piercing type defense that Orlando has, there are huge holes up in the middle, especially when offensive linemen have a good angle to block on, and that's exactly how Ricky Blake scored there.
And then Kerwin Bell comes right back, and this one a little bit of a gift.
A little bit of luck, but you got to have that if you're good, and that's exactly what Kerwin has been tonight. He threw the ball actually to John Simpson, but B.K. Williams came out of nowhere to steal that ball.
So Williams goes in from 42 yards, and then Kerwin Bell. Now this is a pretty pass, maybe the best one of the night.
This is a nice throw. He steps into it real nice tight spiral. B.K. gets away with a little bit of push at the end there, but makes a nice catch.
And Kerwin Bell, not everything went perfectly for him, though. He had 3 touchdown passes. Here's what can happen to you with our helmet camera.
And his helmet actually got knocked off. The good thing his head wasn't in it.
So Kerwin Bell, 28 yards of completion, 3 touchdowns. He's got Orlando out in front, 20-7. San Antonio really did some nice things on that last drive, Boomer, but they came away with no points before halftime.
It's a little disconcerting if you're a defensive player on San Antonio, but I got to tell you, San Antonio wanted to come in and control the football, and they've had it for 18 minutes. So they've done exactly what they wanted to, except for putting points on the board. On the other hand, Orlando, they said they were going to be big strike, and they're going to match their uniform colors, and that's exactly what they've done.
Well, San Antonio had about a 70-yard drive, ended up with no points thanks to Garcia missing 2 field goals, and they trailed 20-7 at halftime.
Ready for some good news? If your car is in an accident and you have Allstate insurance, you can leave it in our hands. Allstate's recommended pro shops can do everything, including the estimate, in one stop. And to make you feel even better, Allstate will guarantee their workmanship for as long as you own your car. Well, that's the news. Now, be careful. You're in good hands with Allstate, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
Kids, there's something brand new at Disneyland. All your favorite Disney Afternoon stars live.
Disney Afternoon. Live at Disneyland.
You can see them in the Plane Crazy show and meet them face-to-face on Afternoon Avenue. It's one adventure after another, and it's all right here at Disneyland.
Disney Afternoon. Live at Disneyland. L-I-V-E. Live.
It's
the final notice. It's the final days. Sun Valley Waterbeds is closing their doors forever, and this is it. The final days. Everything must be liquidated immediately. So come name your own price. No reasonable offer will be refused. Name your own price on waterbeds, bedroom furniture, sheets, comforters. Everything wall to wall must go now. Name your own price with no payments for 6 months. This is it. The final days at Sun Valley Waterbeds. Look for our addresses in the yellow pages. Name your own price.
The World League on USA is brought to you by the revolutionary Gillette Sensor Shaving System for the best shave a man can get. And by Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
Take that thing off.
The World League, and a new brand on a ball that you're pretty used to.
Actually, it's rather nice, to tell you the truth. I wonder if they'll ever put the NFL in gold on the side of our balls.
That looks good. Instead of Tagliabue, it says Mike Lynn. Mike did a nice job on scripting his name out there, too. We got a great crowd in Orlando. They have had a blast tonight as their Thunder blasted out of the blocks in a hurry and took the early lead and really have not looked back. 20-7 at intermission. And Kerwin Bell, former Florida star who was out a year of professional football, certainly has splashed back onto the scene here in his debut with the Orlando Thunder. Statistically at halftime, let's take a look.
Passing yards for Orlando, 189, and average yards per completion, 28.1. Now that's pretty good in any league. I don't care what you say. Rushing yards for San Antonio, we kind of expected that, 106 yards. 11 first downs. You see time of possession, 18 minutes in favor of San Antonio, but that is not indicative of the score at all.
You talk about deceiving at 12 minutes for Orlando. Of course, their scoring drives, as we said, all of their scoring drives were less than a minute to get on the board, with Bell's 3 touchdown passes, 2 to B.K. Williams, who I guess will go in the books now as the leading receiver in week 1 of World League play. I don't think anybody else scored 2 touchdowns over the weekend, did they?
Well, I guess you can consider it a record for now anyway, but I'm sure it would be broken.
There's a guy that scored the opening touchdown of the game, 75 yards for Don Matthews' Thunder, the first time he got his hands on it. Eric Mitchell, who was their second-round pick, a former running back at Oklahoma.
You know, it's nice to see a smile on Eric Mitchell's face. That's what this whole league is all about, creating an excitement, and that's exactly what has happened, at least tonight so far.
Here's what the Riders did with it. Their field position at times not as good as Orlando's was, but even when they had it, they were forced to punt, and then they missed the field goal at the end there that would have made it a 10-point game as we head into the third quarter. And Teddy Garcia's got to be shaking his head a little bit on the sideline, missing from 38, and then after a penalty from 33 yards out. The Riders will have the ball first to start the second half, so that's the good news for them.
One of the things about the first half that I had noticed is that when San Antonio needed to make some plays, they had too many series of 3 and out, and that really hurt your defense. You got to give your defense time to sit on the sideline and catch their breath, especially when you're playing against a 2-minute offense like Orlando.
And the Thunder's offensive receivers have been in track stances all night, but San Antonio will touch it first to start this half. And a yard deep, Bill Hess has to bring it out. And has some room across the 20 and got a nice return out to the 27-yard line.
Bill Hess has had a busy night tonight, huh, Brad?
Sure has. And again, one of the... There's a good view of the airship Shamu, SeaWorld's Goodwill ambassador. We're getting our skyline shots this evening from airship Shamu. Pilots tonight, Anthony Stevenson of Australia and Hunter Harris of Maryland. Oh, we got 2 Maryland guys here?
Can you believe it?
There's a good look. Now we got 3 Maryland guys. Chuck Gardner, our statistician. San Antonio will fling it out to Pickens, who picks his way about to the 22-yard line.
I don't know if I'm a receiver. I get that play called my way, where you're coming back into the middle where all those linebackers and defensive linemen are.
You talk about traffic, huh?
I don't know if I want my number called on that play.
He got about 4 out of it. 2nd down and 6. Mason Garrett Nice catch. Williams lays out the tight end. Didn't get the first down, but boy, it's his second grab of the night. That's a beauty right in front of Matt Devine, the linebacker.
That's where your players make you look a lot better as a quarterback. He made a real nice catch for that. Our viewers are hearing Jason yell 685, 685. That really doesn't have any meaning, but that's how he audibles. And if he changes a different number, that's how he'll audible at the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 2 for the Riders. Ricky Blake, first down. Oh, what a shot. Still on his feet. Rambles down to the 44-yard line. Rob Sterling is wondering what the license plate number was on number 23. 21 yards for Blake. Just what Mike Riley needed, huh?
Some kind of run right there. That kind of play can get the rest of your team fired up for the rest of the night. Rob Sterling took a hit right here. Wow. I think there's a few pound difference there.
Blake goes 235, and he got it to the 44. Garrett overshoots the intended receiver, Bill Hess.
It's interesting. Running back coaches tell their running backs when they're running with the ball, you stay low, you deliver the hit, don't take the hit. And that's exactly what Blake did on that particular play.
How important now, the first 5 minutes, first possession of the 3rd quarter, one of the biggest of the game always, right, Boomer?
Oh, of course. This sets the tone for the second half.
On 2nd and 10. Garrett fires incomplete.
Hey, send Sam.
Intended for Pickens, and it was Errol Tucker covering. A nice job by Tucker.
Going away from him. Make sure you get him up high, okay?
Wide left, 808.
There's the call. Wide left, 808 from up in the booth.
Yard line.
And it's 3rd and 10.
Wide left is your formation. Send your tight end to the left side.
Garrett running for his life. Flags are down. Garrett popped out of bounds, and another flag goes in. We might have a late hit on the far side to go with the penalty marker that went down almost at the snap.
Also could be defensive holding downfield.
Bertie Kukar, our referee, is going to straighten it out for us.
Orlando has had some costly penalties.
Here comes Garrett on our reverse angle look as he scrambled to the right sideline. Willie Walker just set a World League record with 2 penalties on the same play.
Willie Walker has had some costly penalties tonight. He was also, I believe he was also offsides on the missed field goal.
I think he was offside twice tonight. That might have been his 3rd offside to go with the personal foul hit.
Willie's also had some nice plays, too. Let's not get it wrong here. I mean, he's had a sack, I believe, tonight. He's had a few tackles. He's an aggressive player, and he's trying to make some plays. And I think defensive coaches like to see that in their defensive players.
It gives San Antonio the first down. Goes back to his bread and butter, Andrew Johnson, who's closing in on 70 yards on the night. Got about 4 there. Make it Ricky Blake, excuse me. Ricky Blake carried that time, the big fella.
18. You know, they're switching that thing over there, in and out. Did you see that? Yeah. You see that right here? Yeah. They shouldn't be able to cover the dig, though.
There you go. That's some big-time talk. They're covering this thing over here. Did you see that in and out? That is some really, really technical stuff going on the sideline there.
2nd down and 5. Garrett with time. Tried to swing it out to Blake, and he didn't hold on. And another penalty marker down.
61 tackled somebody. That's the second one today. Is that Layfield? All right, let's go with the 580. Tell him take the fade. Looks off the seats. He's got some coach. Coach, tell him. What is it? 580, and tell him take the fade. The outside. 580 and take it. Yeah, 580 and take the fade. Tell Dwight.
You may have heard one of the coaches say 61 tackled somebody. Is that his second one? It's John Layfield, the right tackle, who picks up the holding call.
He and Willie Walker are going after each other left and right on every play, and they're taking turns with the penalties. And what you also heard is Mike Riley say take the fade, and the fade is a go pattern. Now this is where I disagree with, you know, the helmet phones, because you're telling your quarterback, I don't care what else goes on the field, I want you to throw the ball downfield. And he's probably going to take the fade down here at the bottom.
And that's John Garrett, his brother, number 88. He rolls right. And he's going to bring it back. He's got a lot of room in front of him and does throw to his brother. Knocked out at the 24-yard line, about 2 yards short of the first down.
Third down. Okay. No.
Again, Tommy Lee, the offensive coordinator.
34. 34 with one. Well, hurry. Hurry. 7:21. 7:21.
You better hurry. 35-second clock's down near 10 right now. 6:85. They just got the play off. And a first down inside the 20 at the 19 to Bill Hess.
Pass complete to Bill. Jason did a real nice job on the play before this, hitting his brother, John Garrett. Think they talked about that in their bedroom when they were growing up, or what? These two players know each other.
Hess out of Westchester is the guy that makes the catch for the first down right here. First down to the 19. Back to the ground game. Blake. First down. Almost a touchdown. 18 yards to the 1.
Dwight Pickens makes a block downfield on this play. That's a touchdown. And that's what we were talking about earlier. Touchdown blocks by those wide receivers. You'll see number 84 on the right of your screen coming in right here. And if he makes a block on that guy, on Errol Tucker, Sterling doesn't have the opportunity to come over and make the tackle. But Errol Tucker just gave him enough, gotten away enough.
First and goal, San Antonio. Andra Johnson, touchdown.
I don't think the ball got in, Brad.
Wait a minute.
I don't think the ball got in. His feet got in.
You're absolutely right. That doesn't happen very often.
Quarterback sneak. How close is it? On an inch. Huh? Inch line. Hurry up. Let's go.
Quarterback sneak. Jason's in the huddle right now telling him, okay, just surge forward. I'll fall right on your backs, big fella.
John Vitale is his center. James Harper and Mike Kisilak are his guards. From inside a yard on second down. Garrett. They still may not give it to him.
Okay, let's come off the ball now. Let's go ISO pass, Tommy. All right, 42 ISO. 42 ISO pass. 42 ISO pass. Don't get sacked, Jay.
This is a great call right here. This is going to be a play action pass down on the goal line. We're counting on the defense to be real aggressive. And you should have somebody wide open in the flat.
13th play of the drive for San Antonio. They can ill afford not to get this one in the end zone.
Watch the tight ends in the flat.
Garrett rolls, flags are down, and he throws. Touchdown. Ricky Blake. But again, a penalty marker down in the end zone. This one's going against the Thunder. Touchdown, San Antonio.
You think Willie Walker was offsides again?
Garrett bought himself a lot of time before he threw that one, Boomer.
Showed a lot of poise on this whole drive. Again, this is just good poise, rolling out, forcing the defender to come at him. And Ricky Blake gives him a nice target to throw to.
How about Ricky Blake's series? He had a run of 21 yards. He had a run of 18 yards to get him to the one, and then he had the 1-yard touchdown catch. Teddy Garcia for the point after.
Hold it. This one.
Up and good. 8 minutes and 8 seconds to go, third quarter. And the Orlando Thunder still with a lead, but Jason Garrett and Ricky Blake making it close.
Talking about sports, that's what it's all about. So pump it up.
Because after working out, you don't want to fill up. So reach for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
Talking about Coors Light, it's the right beer now. Pour it on and work it out.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
We invested $100 million in the latest diagnostic equipment. And another $5 million a year training our expert technicians to use it. We're Goodyear certified auto service retailers, and we believe everything we do, from tires to tune-ups, should live up to the most exacting standards of all. Yours and ours. Good tires, good service, good people, Goodyear.
At the Florida Citrus Bowl, the San Antonio Riders go 72 yards in 13 plays, used almost 7 minutes, and Jason Garrett got it in gear for him, Boomer.
I'll tell you what, Jason showed a lot of poise on that series, and it's exactly what San Antonio needed. Now it's up to their defense to slow down the Thunder offense.
A little indecision back there, taken by Painter at the 10. It'll reverse his field. If he gets a block, he might have some room. He got leveled at the 23-yard line.
We've seen good special teams play as well, especially on the kickoffs. We haven't seen any long runs, but we've seen some fine hitting.
And Orlando with a 6-point lead has it when we come back to Orlando.
With every step, your child gets closer and closer to the problem of drug and alcohol abuse. Don't let it happen. Find out about Drug Abuse Resistance Education, or DARE America. It's an in-school program where community police officers teach kids how to say no to drugs the first time and every time. Support DARE America before your child gets too close to the edge. KFC is proud to be a national sponsor of DARE America.
Benton Roof Company, protecting San Diego homes since 1910.
A full-service roofing contractor does more than just put a roof on your home. You may need experienced carpenters who can reslope a roof. You may need skilled sheet metal workers who custom build gutters and drains. A full-service roofing contractor can serve you better because you need to get the job done right the first time.
Call Benton Roof Company now at 291-6340.
Parents always think their babies are the cutest babies the world has ever known. These parents just might be right. Come see our small wonders, because they won't be small for long. SeaWorld, it's not another park, it's another world.
It has been called the ultimate competition in golf. Share the tradition of the Masters, only on USA. April 11th and 12th, live at 4 Eastern. Rebroadcast at 9.
All right, we're here with Darryl Fullington, free safety of the Minnesota Vikings. Jerome Brown, all-pro, defensive tackle of the Eagles. What do you think of this stuff right now?
Looks fun to me. No way. Can't wait till September come around.
What do you think about the quality of play in this World League?
I think it'll help out. Some of the guys probably make the NFL team next year.
Darryl, what do you think? Some of these guys I know got caught in the numbers game, and they didn't make the pro rosters. What do you think?
Well, I know, for example, a couple of guys on the Orlando team that played for Minnesota, like J.J. Flanagan, he got caught up in the numbers game. So a lot of guys out there are able to play NFL football, but they just get caught up in the numbers game. So for right now, this is great. It gives guys something to do leading up to the NFL. It's a summer league, so they can always jump to the NFL after it's over.
All right, see you in September. Back upstairs.
All right, guys.
Get out of second and 2.
A couple pretty good players out in the stands tonight. Incomplete on second down.
No, I think Mike should ask Jerome how come he's on the 11-yard line and not the 50.
You got the good seats, right?
That's right.
Darryl Fullington, who starts in the Minnesota Vikings secondary with Joey Browner, the guy they call Batman up in Minnesota. He's always got the bat leaning on his painted on his socks during training camp, both out of the University of Miami. Having some fun tonight. The Thunder with Byron Jones, first down, out to the 39-yard line.
First two plays from the Thunder were flood patterns where they sent 3 receivers all to one side.
Right.
Kerwin Bell trying to set the left side of his
112. Lee at 112.
He's staring right at Mitchell.
Lee at 112, 3.
Who now is going to check back into the backfield.
Red.
Play fake. And the out ball complete. And it's Byron Williams again.
Looks like we might have a holding penalty, Brad.
Driven out by Gary Richards.
Pickup of 11, but they might bring it back.
Holding number 65 on the offense.
Now, I know you take your offensive lineman to dinner every week. What do you say when they do that to you after a nice pass?
I'd just give them a big hug, Brad, to tell you the truth, man, because they're just trying to do their job, and their job is to protect me. And that's probably the hardest job in football. And I hope they're all listening tonight.
Doug Aronson is a guy with a holding call, a right guard.
You know, Doug Aronson was in our training camp, too, and he was a guy that got caught up in the numbers. If we have any strength on the Cincinnati Bengals, it's in our offensive line.
It was like old home week with you out here the other day. A lot of former Bengals on these rosters. Bell. Oh! Ball is intercepted. Cheatham down the near sideline. All the way to the 3 for Carlo Cheatham. 34-yard return. And all of a sudden, San Antonio within a play of not only being back in the game, but taking the lead.
Carlo was actually beaten on that play. Ball a little bit thrown behind the receiver. Catchable ball, however.
We've got our first turnover of the night.
Well, maybe it wasn't so catchable.
Eric Mitchell thrown behind him, and then Carlo Cheatham out of Auburn took it the other way.
Actually, I take that back. It wasn't so catchable after seeing the replay.
Cheatham does the rest, picks up a convoy down the sideline, got some nice downfield blocks, and he got it to the 3-yard line, first and goal for the Riders.
You know what's really one of the worst feelings as a quarterback here is throwing this ball, but after you throw it, you see the other player gets it for the other team. The first guys that look you up are those defensive linemen, those Jerome Browns. And they come looking at you because they know you're fair game.
And Kerwin was the last guy to get a touch at least. Cheatham, who picked off the pass and took it down the sideline to the 3-yard line. That was a good look at Carlo. And now the Riders, who were just down here a couple of minutes ago to get a touchdown, have it first and goal at the Thunder 3. Graves in motion, toss sweep, Undra Johnson, touchdown, San Antonio. Undra's worked hard for his yardage tonight. That was 3 easy yards there off right tackle.
Right side of that line collapsed the entire left side of the defensive line. James Harper and John Layfield completely collapsed that side of the line. And really what happened there is the defensive line had a game going on where they were slanting in towards the ball. Gave the offensive lineman an opportunity to gain angles. An offensive lineman has angles. He just takes the guy where he wants to go, and it's up to the running back.
Got a nice lead block from his fullback, Ricky Blake, too, to help spring him for the touchdown, and Garcia to try to put San Antonio in front. It wasn't long ago. The Riders were on the short end by 13. They've got their first lead now, 21-20, San Antonio. We'll be back.
From Gillette comes Sensor, the only razor that can sense and adjust to the individual needs of your face. Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and individually adjust to your face. The closest, safest, most comfortable Gillette Sensor, together with the richness of foamy shave cream for the best shave a man can get.
Dressing up, stepping out. If you're talking about fun, that's what it's all about. Shake it up, put it on, check it out.
When you're in a place where the beat goes on, you don't want to fill up. So reach for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
We're talking about good, like it's the right beer now. Check it out, check it out.
This itchy rash needs special treatment. Maximum Strength Cortisone 5, with the medicine doctors recommend most, gets under the itch for soothing relief and help in healing. See? The rash is gone. Use Cortisone 5 with the medicine doctors recommend most.
When sports cream? When arms are sore? When legs ache? When muscles hurt? Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. No odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
They're making the biggest comeback in swashbuckling history. One for all, come on! Richard Chamberlain, Kim Cattrall, Michael York, the return of the Musketeers. Wednesday, April 3rd at 9.
21-20, San Antonio with its first lead with 6:13 to go here at the Florida Citrus Bowl. With Michael Barkant and Boomer Esiason, I'm Brad Nessler. Nice to have you along with us on our first of 10 Monday night matchups on USA Network of World League Football. It's been a beauty so far. Eric Mitchell from the 3 takes it out and scoots his way to the 31-yard line. It is a one-point game, and something we didn't show you earlier as far as a replay is maybe the play of the game at this point. And that was a blocked extra point earlier in the ball game. And let's take a look as Orlando lines up for their third extra point, and number 96 right there, Donnie Gardner. Maybe that's the play of the game.
We might see a two-point conversion tonight. The one thing that two-point conversion does do, it puts the pressure on the coach to make that call. Do I go for the tie or do I go for the win? Talk about another thing coach has got to worry about, being second guessed.
And of course, should we somehow go to overtime, there's different rules there too. Good pass out.
I gotta tell you, Kerwin Bell just got absolutely leveled. Now this is the play that none of the fans ever see. Hopefully our helmet cam will have this.
80 smash. YC. 80 smash. YC.
Here it comes.
This is coming right in your face. Boom. Oh, even knocked the camera out. Imagine what his brain felt like.
The camera's taking some shots, and it's doing its job. On first down from the 42. And there the ball is loose. And the Thunder will cover it. David Bailey made the hit, and Kerwin Bell coughed it up.
You heard Kerwin say 80 smash, and what smash in football terms mean is delay. These two outside receivers were running short delay patterns. And the proper zone defense was picked by the San Antonio Riders to force him to get out of there, and of course the pressure again.
And in this case, smash meant David Bailey smashing into the Orlando quarterback. They call it an incomplete pass, so on second down, it's Myron Jones off the left side, and he got almost 8 to midfield. Tim Walton in on the tackle. Again, you're looking from inside Kerwin Bell's helmet, the quarterback of the Orlando Thunder.
Dodger 3. Dodger 3. Dodger 3.
That's not a partial score in Major League Baseball, by the way.
One of the great things about football is a lot of word association that goes along with play calling.
Nice stop by Roderick Manning on Myron Jones, who maybe got half of what he needed on third down and 2. And now the Thunder fans starting to make some noise, but it's going to be a punting situation as Don Matthews says, let's kick it away. 4:19 and the clock running, third quarter, 21-20. The Riders of San Antonio leading the Orlando Thunder as we again look down from Airship Shamu. You're looking on the Florida Citrus Bowl here in Orlando, the home of the Orlando Thunder. Criswell to kick, Dwight Pickens back.
Don is just playing a game of field position.
That one will go in the end zone. And it'll be San Antonio's Riders offensively from their own 20-yard line, leading by a point when we come back.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sports Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
My wife sent me to Payless for some shoes. I didn't even know Payless had men's shoes. Well, right away I liked the place because there's no salespeople breathing down your neck, and they got all the shoes out. So you don't have to keep saying, you got this in a 10? Have you got this in a 10? For once, I get a pair of shoes I like with no hassle. You ought to call it painless.
Right now at Payless, these men's shoes are on sale starting at just $12.99. For shoe shopping that's painless, who'd have guessed? Payless.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
A grieving father sets Mississippi burning with revenge in blind vengeance. Gerald McCraney stars in the USA world premiere movie Wednesday night at 9, 8 Central Time right here on USA. San Antonio with a 1-point lead and the ball with 3:42 to go third quarter. They work from their own 20-yard line. And the Thunder with another offside penalty, it appears, unless they were drawn off. The officials have been a little busier with the penalty markers. Let's go down to Michael Barkan on the sideline.
All right, Brad, we're going to try this one because I'm talking with one of the Operation Discovery players, which means he's from West Germany. Helmut Yoder. And how are you playing defensive end? You're not in the game, but how have you found the American football?
Yeah, I have good fun in American football, and I play here my first game, and I learn here many, and I play in punt return.
Now, you're a kickboxing championship. How have you used that to get into the game here?
Yeah, it's very good. The contact from kickboxing is a good help from here from American football.
You think you're going to get in tonight?
Yeah, well, maybe. When I have a chance, I go on the field.
All right, Boomer, tell them the story now.
All right.
After this snap, San Antonio did draw the Thunder offside.
It's down, it's gone, it's gone.
Andre Johnson picked about 3 yards back. An interesting story about Helmut with a scrimmage recently, right, Boomer?
Yeah, Orlando and Montreal were scrimmaging, and Helmut was on the sideline, and they got into a fight. Orlando and Montreal did, a big fight. And all the guys were looking for Helmut for help. And all of a sudden, Helmut came charging onto the field, figuring that he's going to be a kickboxer. The first thing he did was take off his helmet. And the rest of the players said, no, Helmut, don't take off your helmet.
Helmet, keep it on.
Keep the helmet on.
And Garrett drops back. He had 3 receivers out. We got another penalty marker down. So Boomer, 21-20. San Antonio not just back in it. They're in the lead for the first time.
Well, I mean, it's been a good game, and this is what we were hoping for Monday night, our first national exposure on USA television. I think that it's been more than what we expected. The competitive level has been tremendous.
If you're just joining us, things opened up in a hurry as Kerwin Bell hooked up with a 75-yard touchdown pass on the opening offensive snap for the Orlando team, and went on to throw 2 more touchdown passes in the first half. They had a 20-7 cushion, but San Antonio has battled back, and thanks to an interception and a return and a couple of touchdowns this quarter, they lead by 1. Jason Garrett going deep for Brother John, and he got him, but he's out of bounds. Bob Flanoid was covering.
Nice route. John actually had him beat. Jason just threw the ball a little bit out of bounds. Jason was actually rolling to his left, and as a right-hander, it's one of the most difficult things to do, to throw on the run.
The Riders' third quarter has been a good one. Good-looking 13-play drive. And then thanks to the interception that got them down to the 3, it took just 1 play to score again, and they lead by 1 as we approach 2 minutes to go, third quarter. But third down and a whole bunch. 17 for the Riders. Look out, Jason. Ball's loose. They're going to blow it dead. Curtis Williams puts a lick on Jay Garrett, and he's still down. Fifth sack on Garrett, and this one hurt him.
Looks like he probably got the wind knocked out of him a little bit.
Trying to get the tears out of the eyes after this hit by Curtis Williams.
John Husby took a poor step as an offensive lineman. He knows his quarterback is running away from him. He needs to take a back step, the left tackle does, as opposed to taking a step forward, which gave Williams the opportunity to get around the corner.
And now a tough spot for San Antonio's punt team, but they got it out of there. Fair catch called for by Tucker. Takes an Orlando, rather a San Antonio hot 27-yard kick. And Jason on the sidelines wondering what happened with 1:36 to go, third quarter.
That was some hit.
And there's the guy that applied it. Curtis Williams out of Akron, and he put a little zip on that sack, didn't he?
Oh, you know, I'll tell you what, those guys don't get back there that often. And when they get back there, they really want to lay the wood to you.
Talk about great field position for the Thunder at the San Antonio 33-yard line. Mitchell in motion. Bell, he's going to taste it too if he doesn't get out of there, and he does. And a lot of green in front. First down run by Kerwin Bell. Pickup of about 11 before Tim Walton made the hit.
Good presence by Kerwin Bell in the pocket. Rolling out a little bit to the right. The center pulls out. Picks up the big block. Kerwin makes a nice job here. But Kerwin, don't take this guy on.
Get down, Kerwin, get down.
Kerwin, what are you thinking about?
He's been hanging around helmet too long, hasn't he?
I'll tell you what. I think what he's trying to do is knock that helmet cam off. That's what he's trying to do.
80 smash.
80 smash. This is the delay to the receivers on the outside. The inside receivers are going to be running corner patterns.
80 smash.
And
80 smash.
If he gets man coverage, he's going to hit one of the inside receivers in the end zone.
He's got 4 wideouts in the group. Lassane and Byron Williams to one side. Simpson and Roscoe to the other.
Brad, this part of the field is known as the red zone. When you get into your opponent's inside the opponent's 30-yard line,
1:16.
the defense does different things in the secondary. Most notably, plays a lot of man coverage. You like to call your plays where you can single up your receivers to do either outside or inside cuts. At this particular point, I think what Kerwin is calling, he's calling his outside receivers on delay routes and his inside receivers on deep out routes.
Speaking of delays, the reason we have one is that the clock continued to run during the measurement, and it ran the minute 16 remaining in the third quarter off the clock. They have got it reset now.
All right, he's got 80 smash call.
Red.
Watch your inside receivers going down and out. Your outside receivers delaying.
Byron Williams has 2 touchdown catches already tonight, and that's where he's going. Got him! B.K. Williams with his 3rd of the night. Kerwin Bell with his 4th of the night. Touchdown, Thunder.
Almost every offense uses a play very similar to that. And again, Kerwin took advantage of man coverage. And actually right here, the Orlando Thunder are going to go for 2.
They're going to try to make up for the lost extra point earlier. Here's our first 2-point conversion attempt of the night.
Little roll right to the flat.
Bell to the end zone. He got it. Bruce Lassane.
Kerwin took another hit there in the backside pursuit.
He took the hit, but he's got his team back up by 7.
Hey, Brad, I don't know what you say, but I'll tell you what, these guys are hitting out there. And these quarterbacks are taking some serious punishment.
Kerwin's checking all his teeth with 59 seconds to go, third quarter. The Thunder back in front, and we'll get a look from how Kerwin Bell saw it to put his team back up 28-21. Here's how it looked and sounded. Ouch.
Well, I got to tell you, I just hope all of our viewers now do have a better appreciation for what we go through.
Kerwin needs an extra guy to carry the helmet around. Let's take a look at the touchdown. B.K. Williams, 3rd of the night. You called it perfectly, Boomer.
What he did, Nice job by the receiver to keep his feet in bounds right here. Good concentration. Whoa!
He got him.
Hey, that is a great job. Kerwin stays right in. Beautiful throw. He can't throw the ball anywhere else. Right over the outstretched hands.
You think it's a typical Orlando drive, Boomer? 33 yards in 2 plays. This one took 37 seconds. Carlo Cheatham, who had an interception, number 40, right there at the left side of your screen.
That ball just went right over the fingertips of Greg Lee.
Thunder kicks away. Hess mishandles it. And gets it out across the 20-yard line on the return. 48 seconds left in the third quarter. Kerwin Bell, 4 touchdown passes on the night.
I think Kerwin's wondering, maybe I should stick to coaching. Nobody ever hit me in the mouth when I was coaching.
Lips didn't bleed last year as an assistant to Steve Spurrier at Florida.
But I think if you ask him, he'll take this over anything.
You know, he told us, I just love to compete, and football's not out of my blood. Whether I get back to the NFL or not, I want to prove I can still play. I think he has answered the call tonight. 28-21 Orlando. Loose ball. Fumble, still loose, and the Thunder has it. I think it's Curtis Williams on the bottom of the pile. What a big break for the Thunder defense.
Jason Garrett wasn't in there. It was Lee Saltz that was in there and had a problem with the exchange. Anytime a new quarterback goes in there in the middle of a game that is as heated as this one is, there are bound to be mistakes. And it's a tough situation for Lee to come into right now. Big play by Orlando. The defense is fired up. The offense just came off the field with a big play. They want to make something happen.
White, ready?
Kerwin Bell didn't even have enough time on the sideline to make sure he was going to get that lip to stop bleeding. And now he's right back in there. First down at the 20. Play fake. He wants some more. Going for number 5 on the night. And almost had it. Byron Williams again. But a nice job defensively by Gary Richard, number 44.
Gary did a nice job there. Undercut the receiver. What Gary was doing was using the end line as an extra defender. He wasn't going to get pushed back any deeper. It was a nice job turning out. Football jargon that is known as a San Diego turn by the defensive back. Something that was born out of the San Diego Chargers defense.
2nd and 10, Orlando. San Antonio 20, and it looked like the Riders jumped off.
Good job.
And of course, they're saying that the Thunder offensive lineman drew them off. Let's see, Donnie Gardner may have been the guy in there too early.
Kerwin Bell drew him off with his inflection in his voice. All defensive linemen are taught to watch the ball and not listen to the quarterback.
96 on the defense. Second down.
It was Gardner, 96. There's the clock remaining, third quarter. Brad Nessler, Boomer Esiason, Michael Barkan with you from the Florida Citrus Bowl. We wind the third quarter down in what has been some kind of fun here on Monday night. The first 10, if they're all this good, we're going to have a blast, Boom.
46, bring 6, bring 6.
They may not get this one off before the end of the quarter. Not quite.
Time.
What? He asked what? He asked the refresher, what's going on here? I'm going to run this play.
Don Matthews, Orlando Thunder, looking to win at home. They lead by 7. We've got a quarter to go. 28-21, Orlando. We'll be back.
Because after working out, you don't want to fill up. So reach for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
Talking about Coors Light, it's the right beer now. Pour it on and work it out.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
Over 28 million adults get athlete's foot.
I'm Jim Byrne. I had athlete's foot until I used NP27. It has an ingredient recommended by doctors.
Look, NP27 stops the burning, itching of athlete's foot fast.
NP27. Nothing's a better cure for athlete's foot.
Here's something for all you truck drivers to think about. There's an oil made special for trucks. An oil with the Shell brand. Oil that protects engines when they rev their highest and work their hardest. Think any oil will take care of your truck? Think again. Truck Guard from Shell.
See, now you got to block it.
We're back with Carter Spear, who is the founder and president of the Bolts, which is the Thunder fan club. We're involved in a wave here. Okay, we're back down. Carter, what makes you think this whole thing can work, and what do you think so far?
Well, this is coming from a great city, Orlando, Florida. We've got a great group of people, 130 Bolt fans right here. We're the Thunder fans, the Bolts. We're from Southwest Orange County, Isleworth Golf and Country Club, and we're looking forward to having a great team this year. We've already scored more points than any team in the league, so we're the #1 scoring team in the league, so we're excited about that. We've got a great coach in Don Matthews. We've got a great general manager in Lee Corso. Raj Mahal's a great owner. Don Diston, we've got a great group and a great program.
That's it,
Hey, he's the greatest guy of all, isn't he?
And, of course, he works for the Chamber of Commerce for the city of Orlando.
Oh, you got to love the enthusiasm, though.
Third down at 2. Bell rolls and throws and got his man. Chris Roscoe, first and goal.
There you go. There you go.
Orlando's doing a real good job now keeping the San Antonio defense off guard. Kerwin's showing a little movement. I thought they said he had a bad knee.
That's his 11th completion in 26 attempts, 249 yards. He's got 4 touchdowns.
103.
There's the numbers on Bell. And he just keeps ringing it up. Myron Jones got close. And coming out of the pile is Sean Dykes with the football. As we again look down from the airship Shamu. That's the look from atop the Florida Citrus Bowl,
Where they had a tractor pull 3 weeks ago.
I think you can tell the effects, can't you?
Yes.
92I. 92I.
Rodney Lasso about to snap that football to Kerwin Bell. On 2nd and goal. Bell looking for another touchdown pass. He's got it. Kerwin Bell has thrown 5. That one to Chris Roscoe.
92I? Yeah, he ran the wrong route.
He ran the wrong route.
They'll take it anyway. It's happened twice tonight.
They were giving it to him.
Number 5 right here for Kerwin Bell.
He ran the wrong route.
They got to run the wrong route more often. Flags down as Ballman hit the extra point. Another look at Kerwin Bell. Nice adjustment on the ball, Boomer.
Sure was. These receivers are showing me something tonight. They're going up and going after it.
13 minutes and 6 seconds left in the ball game, and now it is Orlando in front, 35-21.
I think also all week long they've been hearing about how they're going to throw the ball 50 times, so the receivers are getting geared up to play in this game. And I think they all want a shot. They all want a shot to make a play.
Kerwin Bell, the hottest thing playing quarterback right now in the World League, is thrown for 5.
They play it way off inside. Yeah,
if you have an insurance repair on your home and you have Allstate, it's in our hands. We know some very reliable contractors. It's our business too. So if you choose a contractor we recommend, we guarantee the workmanship of their repairs for 1 year. That's why you're in good hands with Allstate. A member of the Sears Financial Network.
The Allstate Good Hands Play of the Week. Brought to you by Allstate. For home, auto, life, and business insurance, you're in good hands with Allstate. Each week during the World League season, one play will be chosen as the Good Hands Play of the Week. So tune in to USA's World League coverage and see which play is our All-State Good Hands Play of the Week.
Ready for some good news? If your car is in an accident and you have Allstate insurance, you can leave it in our hands. Allstate's recommended pro shops can do everything, including the estimate, in one stop. And to make you feel even better, Allstate will guarantee their workmanship for as long as you own your car. Well, that's the news. Now, be careful. You're in good hands with Allstate, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
Back in Orlando, 35-21. The Thunder in front as we take a look at the Coors Silver Bullet receiving stats for tonight. Pickens with 4 for San Antonio, but how about B.K. Williams with 3 touchdown catches and over 100 yards on the night. That's the Coors Silver Bullet receiving summary for the night. B.K. Williams, turn it loose, turn it loose, turn it loose tonight, huh?
He's ready to go.
2-touchdown lead for the green-clad Thunder of Orlando.
Nice to have a big run back right here.
Andre Johnson will be the guy to try it from the 9. Across the 20, out near the 23-yard line. That last 2 touchdowns for Orlando came in a span of 2.5 minutes. Remember, they had a fumble recovery by Curtis Williams, and then they went 5 plays, covered 20 yards, and 2:36 to score. And again, Lee Salt's in for his 2nd snap of the night. Jason Garrett banged up earlier. And so Salt's a former Temple Owl in there at quarterback for the Riders of San Antonio.
Lee Salt's the quarterback.
This will be Salt's first pass of the night. That's complete to Williams, his big tight end. He's got some room on the outside. Ronnie Williams, nice job.
That's a smart play call right there, Brad. You want to get Lee a completion. You want to call a nice, easy play. It's a little tight end delay where they let all the linebackers drop back, let the rush happen. Tight end sneaks out over the middle. It's a nice, easy completion. Give the kid a little confidence. This is his first action in pro football. Good pass right in the gut.
Saltz, who's been in the CFL for a couple of years, gives off to Blake this time. And Ricky Blake got back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. Curtis Williams is having quite a second half from his outside linebacker position.
Saltz was with Mike Riley in the CFL, so those two are very familiar with each other. In the offense that Mike runs, he feels very confident with Lee.
Second down, a long 9 coming up for San Antonio. That pass incomplete, intended for Bill Hess.
Pass incomplete, intended for Hess.
Billy Owens covering. And now it's 3rd down and long. Just what the Riders and Lee Saltz didn't want to get involved in. 3rd down and long 9.
China outside.
They're going to have to get it all on 3rd down. Pickens maybe got 4, and the Thunder defense starting to swarm a little bit back there. Owens and Tucker.
Let's go spread punt, guys. Spread punt.
Smart defense again there, Brad. There's no sense of giving them a big play, so you lay off them, let them catch the ball, and then you got a gang tackle. That's what defense is all about.
Kent Sullivan will come in to kick it away for San Antonio. They trail by a couple of touchdowns with 11 minutes and now less remaining in the ball game.
We've yet to see Errol Tucker run back a punt tonight.
He's had a few fair catch calls back there. The ball has taken some even stranger than usual bounces thanks to the turf. That was a good look at Tucker.
He led the nation in punt returns as a senior in 1985. He had an average return of 24.3.
That's a little scary, isn't it? 29 yards per kickoff return that same year. San Antonio with the delay of game penalty, their 6th penalty of the night.
Errol's also a player with NFL experience. He's been with the Steelers, the Bills, and the Patriots.
The year we talked about his punt returns, he set an NCAA record with 7 returns for touchdowns. This is phenomenal. This one's a mile in the air. He fields it at the 26-yard line. 10-18 to go in the ball game. The Thunder with the ball back, and they're up by 2 touchdowns.
There's Trixie Hicks.
My cousin Delbert. Jam Master Jacko.
For a month, MCI has said, stay tuned for a big announcement. How big? This big. Now, when MCI customers call another MCI customer who was on their list of friends and family, they get an extra savings of 20% over MCI's already low rates. It's a savings never offered before by anyone. It's a good reason to join MCI and for your friends and family to join too.
It's the final notice. It's the final days. Sun Valley Waterbeds is closing their doors forever, and this is it. The final days. Everything must be liquidated immediately. So come name your own price. No reasonable offer will be refused. Name your own price on waterbeds, bedroom furniture, sheets, comforters. Everything wall-to-wall must go now. Name your own price with no payments for 6 months. This is it. The final days at Sun Valley Waterbeds. Look for our addresses in the yellow pages. Name your own price.
Hey teams, hold on, because Nickelodeon and Cox Cable have a blast in store for you.
I wonder where Merv the Perv is today. Maybe Mr. Bus. Mr. Boat is more like it.
But don't you miss Welcome Freshmen Saturdays at 6:30.
Ever get the feeling old Chrome Dome doesn't like freshmen?
But you'll love it. And anyhow, what does old Chrome Dome know? Welcome Freshmen on Nickelodeon Saturdays at 6:30. It's on cable, Cox Cable.
I'm going to send you the best support available.
For this team, no mission is impossible. Counter-Strike on USA, Sunday at 9.
That's a look from Orlando quarterback Kerwin Bell. I tell you what, it's been a pretty good look tonight with 5 touchdown passes to his credit, which puts him out in front of the rest of the league by a mile as far as scoring tosses.
Left wide, 89. White, ready?
Meanwhile, his counterpart, Jason Garrett, out with an injury that we'll tell you about here in just a moment.
He called 89. He could be going downtown again. Usually when they yell 9, that means a go route. He could be throwing deep again. Here we go.
Bruce Lassane, the intended receiver. Let's find out more about San Antonio's quarterback, though. Michael.
Brad, Jason Garrett, X-rays out indefinitely with a separated right shoulder. That is his throwing shoulder. So in the meantime, obviously, they're going with Lee Saltz. And Saltz and Coach Riley, no strangers. They work together in the CFL, so that's okay. But after that, no third-string quarterback.
Bell with some pressure, trying to get away, and down he goes. And Donnie Gardner's had a nice night, gets the sack. So Jay Garrett leaves 16 of 25, 121 yards, a touchdown, sacked 6 times, and one of them cost him his throwing arm.
And he had a nice night. He was on target. He ran his offense as expected. Mike Riley said that he was a student of the game, and he really showed it tonight. He showed a lot of poise.
909.
Well, this is exactly what the Riders need, is a defensive stop here, and they forced, with the sack, a 3rd and 22 for Kerwin Bell. Statue of Liberty going nowhere. Quite a hit by Gardner again, that time on Painter, the running back.
Immediately by numbers 96, Donnie Gardner.
Let's take you back to where San Antonio lost its quarterback for the night. Curtis Williams from the backside.
Good pursuit by Curtis, and he drives him right into the ground, right on his shoulder.
Probably right there where the right elbow landed, and then the collapse of the shoulder for Jason Garrett, who's gone indefinitely from the San Antonio lineup. The Rider defense forcing the punt, though.
Let him go, let him go.
Criswell got one up in the lights. Pickens will take it at the 48-yard line. And he comes back and got about 10 on the return. So San Antonio in Orlando territory with 8 minutes, 47 seconds to go in the game. They need a couple of touchdowns to even it up.
the beat goes on, you don't want to fill up. So reach for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
We're talking about good, like it's the right beer now. Check it out, check it out.
That's Trixie Hicks who I played bridge with in New York.
My cousin Delbert in Maynardsville. There's the rat traps, there's the fishmongers,
For a
there's
month,
Joey Scudder.
MCI has shown people making lists. Stay tuned, we said, for this big announcement. Now, MCI customers who call other MCI customers on their list of friends and family get an extra savings of 20% over MCI's already low rates. That savings is over and above any of our residential savings plans at any time of day. Not just to one place, but to anywhere in America. It's not only a savings AT&T doesn't have, it's much better than that. It beats us MCI by 20%. How big is friends and family from MCI? Well, it could save our customers millions. But more important, over the next year, it could save this family $135.
I'm Dan Marino. Join me for World League Football as the Raleigh-Durham Skyhawks descend upon the Orlando Thunder, live on USA.
Saturday.
Back in Orlando, Brad Nessler and Boomer Esiason with you. Our first of 10 Monday night games on USA Network is San Antonio is going to have to regroup, losing their quarterback, Boomer.
Well, it's going to be tough, but the thing about it is Mike Riley knows Lee Saltz very well. They're used to each other, and Lee has already shown that he can move this club. Now they're going to need a score right now, though. They're running out of time.
Well, Lee's got his best opportunity, his best field position at the Orlando 42-yard line as he drops to throw. And Williams, his tight end, has been a big target. And he's off down the sideline to the 25-yard line. Ronnie Williams, number 82, doing quite a job tonight. He was a #1 tight end pick out of Oklahoma State.
Another little delay route to the tight end and a good block downfield by John Garrett that gave Williams the opportunity to go get 10 more yards after the catch.
Wide right, 541.
Wide right, 541. Mike Riley sends in with a first down. San Antonio at the Orlando 25-yard line.
This is probably some sort of pass play over the middle.
There it goes.
There it is.
Touchdown. John Garrett. And that was a strike from Lee Saltz.
Kind of a little bit of good news, bad news for John Garrett. I'm sure he would have loved to have his brother throwing the ball, but I think he'll take a touchdown at this point in the game. Nice throw by Lee Saltz. Good move by John Garrett to get open in the back of that end zone. A little post route. Actually going against the zone. And he got on top of the free safety. The free safety's job there is to sit back in that zone and don't let anybody get over top of him, especially with the end zone so close.
This is a very important extra point to try to make it a one-touchdown game. And it is. With 8 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the ball game, it is 35-28. Here's another look at Salt's toss to Garrett.
Now, sometimes when you're a quarterback, or any player for that matter, you make your fortune on somebody else's misfortune. That's exactly what happened with Lee Saltz and Jay Garrett tonight.
And Lee, I'm sure, would tell you he wouldn't want to get his shot by the other quarterback going down, but that's just the way it happens.
Now, I'm sure that Jay's in the locker room right now cheering for his team, knowing the type of player and person that he is. I'm sure he's happy for his brother to make a nice catch. One thing we knew about John when he was in Cincinnati, he didn't drop very many balls. Very sure-handed, precise receiver, smart player, knew how to get open. That's exactly what he did there.
And we knew all the passes there were delivered precisely for him to catch, right?
That's exactly right.
John Garrett, one of 8 in the Garrett clan, and brother Judd, by the way, who also went to Princeton. All 3 brothers played together at Princeton in '87. Judd is a running back for the London Monarchs, so the whole family is in the league. It is a one-touchdown game with just over 8 minutes to go. Painter from the 4. He took a pretty good shot at about the 23-yard line. So Orlando up by a touchdown, but San Antonio right back in it after a 42-yard drive in 2 plays. It was almost an Orlando type of drive, Boomer. 35 seconds is all it took him to get in the end zone.
Well, they made something happen, and they needed a big play, and they got it out of Lee Saltz and John Garrett. Now it's up to their defense to hold down the Orlando Thunder offense, which is something that they haven't been able to do quite effectively this year.
Back when the score was 21-20, I told you, just in case we go to overtime, there's a difference there with the rules. And you may have thought I was crazy at that point with a 1-point game, but after the 2-point conversion evened things off. Now we've got a 7-point difference with 8 minutes to play. If San Antonio can find another way to score, we would go to OT. And in overtime in the World League, you must win by 6 points. So one field goal doesn't do it. Bell on first down. Wide open is Eric Mitchell.
They went back to the first play of the game. This time they hit it against his zone coverage. It's one of the reasons you saw that Mitchell wasn't able to get out and escape.
This time Terrence Cooks was able to put Mitchell in his tracks instead of letting him go 75 yards for the touchdown, which is what Orlando did with its first play.
You got to like Orlando's choice of plays here. It's probably because the quarterback's calling the plays. That they're staying aggressive, that they're not sitting back on their 7-point lead and trying to protect it.
Second down and 3. And they give to Myron Jones. First down. Michael Barkan with a San Antonio quarterback on the sideline.
With Lee Saltz right now, and you said one of the receivers didn't do what he was supposed to, the other one did, and what happened?
Yeah, it's funny. One of the guys, our inside receiver who was closest to me, didn't hear the route, and the outside fellow, John Garrett, who caught the touchdown, heard the route, which was just a regular post route, and worked out real well.
Has it been playing fairly cold? I mean, you came in 2 series, boom, you throw a strike.
Well, you know, I'm kind of happy with that. We got 1 or 2 more left to put on the board. I've only had 3 days to plan for this, and so far it's going pretty good.
All right, go get him. Back upstairs.
All right, Michael, thanks. And there's the guy that was the recipient of the touchdown. John Garrett on your left. That is Bill Hess on the right. Ledbetter was shaken up on the last play defensively, the outside linebacker for the Riders. And the Thunder come up to the ball, their own 37-yard line with a first down. And 7 minutes and a second to go. 35-28 Orlando. Kerwin Bell setting his troops, a 4 wideout group. Roscoe and Williams, Lassane and Simpson.
88-0, 88-0.
The 37 on first and 10. Bell.
No.
Mitchell was open again and couldn't hold on to this one.
It's the one thing about this run and shoot offense that if the ball is incomplete, the clock will stop.
Mitchell, the intended receiver, covering defensively for the Riders, number 55, Greg Gilbert.
It'll be second and 10.
Yeah.
Don Matthews looking for his first win in the new World League. Mitchell in motion on second down.
All right, this gone.
Oh, that's a nice pass by Bell. Penalty marker down as Simpson made the grab. Then you're going to have pass interference on top of a heck of an out pass, huh, Boone?
That was a nice throw. Low and outside. Gary Richard, I thought, had pretty good coverage there.
They needed 10. They got 11. And we'll get another look at it.
Here's Bart Simpson coming at you. It's a nice job going down on the ball. That's a nice catch. That is a big-time catch right there.
Pass interference. And Kerwin Bell puts that baby on the line.
That is a nice throw and good concentration on Simpson's part.
As enthusiastic as Kerwin Bell was when we talked to him, and they will take the penalty, you just didn't think he'd have this kind of night. 5 touchdown passes, and he is into the flow of things.
We're right there, 83 dig.
He's yelling 83 dig. This is a crossing route.
You got it right.
When a quarterback yells dig, he means crossing route over the middle. Probably your inside receivers coming down through the middle.
Here comes a blitz. Bell for Simpson. Incomplete. And Kerwin felt the pressure that time.
He actually had Chris Roscoe open over the middle. He felt that he had a good matchup with Simpson over here with Richard.
Greg Gilbert a little shaken up.
Bell had a little pressure in his face on this play too, Brad, as you can see.
a little shot and then reloaded to get rid of the ball.
It's funny to watch that thing.
Mitchell, boy, he's quick. Might have the first down. It looked like another number 21 right there. Eric Metcalf as he scooted out. First down, Orlando.
How about James Brooks?
There you go. Well, if you've enjoyed it tonight, we got a lot more to come all spring long on USA. And next Saturday, the Raleigh-Durham Skyhawks and the same Orlando Thunder, or Sacramento and Birmingham having at it. Next Monday, we'll be in San Antonio as the Frankfurt Galaxy comes across the water to make a visit. Check the local listings for the game time in your area. We hope you're with us. This one has been some kind of fun. Jones to the 30. San Antonio saying that they recovered a fumble, but they blow it dead as Myron Jones got it just inside the 30-yard line.
The sight and sounds of football down on the field. Something that's a little bit of enlightenment, I think, for a lot of people that have never been down there before. These players are not themselves as they are off the field. They become something totally different.
It's not a church social, folks. 4:20 to play. 35-28 and a 2nd and 4. Orlando with a lead in the ball. Short of the first down, though, is Myron Jones, 5 out of yard, as David Bailey made the hit.
Seeing here, Orlando has not abandoned what they've been trying to do all day, but they are running some time off the clock. 4 minutes to go in this 4th quarter.
The airship Shamu, the look down. And that's what you call a full 22, right, Boomer?
That's what you call it. Actually,
airship
23.
23. Airship Shamu from the SeaWorld Parks. And it was nice to have them along with us tonight. Big 3rd down for Orlando. San Antonio needs the ball back. Bell took a lick and incomplete. Trapped by Myron Jones.
Great play call. Just didn't execute the play. Sometimes you have guys wide open and you just can't hit them.
Mark Ledbetter put the hit on Kerwin Bell. Watch number 94 coming after Kerwin Bell, who's had the big night with 5 touchdowns, but sometimes you have to pay the price. And that's a whole different look. That's the worm's eye view we give you there.
Man, you know,
Charlie Bauman to try a 45-yard field goal as Orlando wants to get the lead back to 10, but they don't get it. Faded to the left on him, and San Antonio's going to get their chance. With 3:25 to play, the Riders will get the ball back trailing 35-28.
Good series for the San Antonio defense.
So
it's up to Lee Saltz and the boys to come on and bring it down.
You know, Mike Riley, let's listen to him and Tommy Lee, the offensive coordinator.
To sneak them. Okay, Tom, you there? Yeah. Okay, that's Ryder shift. 5:41. We can't waste.
Mike Riley and Tommy Lee, head coach and offensive coordinator, having a chat. We'll eavesdrop again in a moment. First down.
Going to Andre
Long
Johnson.
ball, Andre Johnson. Can't hold on.
Hey, that ball was right there, Brad. That's what they call a wheel pattern. Where Under starts out and then slots up the sideline. The receiver that was out there.
Wide left, 550 sneak. Wide left, 550 sneak. Last one was right in his hands.
Oh, you got that right, Coach.
It was right in his hands, Coach.
Saltz is 4 out of 6, 62 yards and a touchdown. He needs another one.
Here comes your tight end delay. Your tight end delay.
Got it to Pickens. First down at the 40. Drive stays alive with just over 3 minutes to go. Right in front of Errol Tucker.
Go, Tommy. 5:21. Tommy. 5:21. Huh? 5:21. Sprint. I can't hear it.
5:21, Coach.
He can't hear it, but we can.
Mike Riley's got too many buttons and whistles to push over there. They got the play called in, and here it is on 1st and 10. Another good pass to Hess. Broke a tackle and got it to the 48.
Come on, Lee. You got to move him now. You got to keep him going.
4th quarter. opening Monday night. I wish they could all be this good.
I hope they score a touchdown because I want to see if they're going to go for 2 or not.
Would they go for 2 or play for overtime and then look to win by 6? There's a lot of questions to be answered. We've got a little over 2 minutes to answer them. First, they need the touchdown. Saltz with time. Deep ball.
Oh, he ran out of
Hess
bounds.
is there, but he ran out of bounds.
Receiver went out of bounds.
And that's a no-no in any league. He stepped out at about the 33, I think.
The interesting thing is here also, not one of these fans have left.
I think we've added a couple here in the last quarter. Well out of bounds is Bill Hess.
This also could be illegal contact by the defender downfield. There's a flag on the play.
The officials will have a conference, but one thing we know they won't do is look upstairs. No replay in the World League.
Disregard the flag. There is no fall. The ball hit the ground.
Some of the calls are unique sometimes, too. It's going to be 3rd down and 2. This is a situation now where you think they've got a couple of cracks, even if they don't get it here, right?
I'll tell you what would be now. A little draw play would be a good play right here.
3rd down and 2 riders. Look out. Got it complete to Garrett. And Garrett all the way down to the 31-yard line. Rob Sterling finally got him down, but not before Garrett got 22 yards on the pass play.
Lee took a good shot on that play at the end of the pass there.
We're at the 2-minute warning as John Garrett gets the Riders closer, but they still trail by 7.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
I'm Dave Johnson. For my training for the 1992 decathlon, I switched to the pump from Reebok. When I'm pumped up, my feet have support, protection, and a custom fit for leaping, vaulting, spinning, jumping, sprinting, hurling, racing, running, throwing, and shot putting. Now, I'm the guy who knows cross-training. Pump up and air out.
Switch to the greatest sports performance shoe in the world, the Reebok Pump. Pump up and air out.
Maybe the reason more people switch to Glidden than any other paint in the last 5 years is because we've got the color they're looking for.
My brown eyes blue.
Glidden, a better way to paint.
Living, no better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find it.
Well, we have had some fireworks at the Florida Citrus Bowl. There's the scoring, how it's gone to this point. And it ain't over yet, folks. 35-28 with 1:57 left in the ball game. But the San Antonio Riders are moving it on down the field, and they've got a first down at the Orlando Thunder 30-yard line. About 22,000 fans have had some fun tonight here in Orlando, but they're hoping their team can hold on. The first of 10 Monday night games. Brad Nessler, Boomer Esiason, Michael Barkan along with you. And we've got quite a finish coming up. Saltz with plenty of time. Deep. Garrett again. He almost pulled it down in double coverage.
Good job by the offensive line of San Antonio to give Saltz good time in the pocket. He laid it out, and John almost came down with a great catch. The thing that I've noticed here is that when Saltz and Garrett earlier in the game have had time, they've made the plays. So it's up to the defensive line of Orlando and the linebackers right now to put some serious pressure on.
It's a good look at John Garrett, who got his left hand on it. Saltz is 7 of 11 for 103 yards and a touchdown, and going for more.
He's got it.
No! Just overshot his intended receiver. Bill Hess was out there.
I'm sorry I get excited, man. I'm probably going to be playing with these guys.
Oh, boy.
I'm working a sweat up here.
Bill Hess had nobody within 5 yards as Lee Corso, the general manager of the Thunder, looks on from the sideline.
How tough is it for him to stand down here as opposed to a coach?
He's trying to do some coaching. 3rd and 10 with 1:44 to go. Riders need a touchdown. They need a first down, and Garrett did not pull it down. It's 4th down. For San Antonio, the game comes down to one play. Mike Riley says, let's talk about it, guys. Timeout.
All right, that's all right. That's all right. We're just not executing quite. All right, let's go with the, what do we want to do for a first down? Coach, let's go with 8:14. I tell you what we could get it with. 8:14? 8:05. 8:05? But if they just run 8:05 or 8, Coach, yeah, 8:08 or 8:18. Let's go with 8:05. And if it's cover 2, we should have the out if they're in cover 1. Right. Yeah. But if they're, let's throw the out again over here. 8:15. All right. So that's what they feel most comfortable with. Huh? All right, let's go with 8:15. What do you think? Hey, Bill. How about, hey, I got it. 8:15 switch. You run the out for the first down, and you hit him in the number. There we go. Good call. Don't look for fade, too. If they release it.
All right, Boomer. They talked about it. We're going to see an out pass again.
Actually, what 8:15 means is, again, they're telling the 3 wide receivers, they're numbering their routes. 5 meaning the out route. They said switch, so the 8 guy that was going to run the 8 route is now running the 5 route, which will be an out pattern.
Here's the ball game for San Antonio. They need 10 on 4th down.
There
and he's got it.
And he's out of bounds.
At the 17-yard line. What a catch by Hess. And did he make an adjustment on that one?
There's your 8:15 switch. Your inside guy ran your out pattern as opposed to your outside guy. Those numbers go left to right. Your outside guy, if it was an 8:15 without the switch, 88 would be running the out route. But they said switch, so the receivers to that side switch routes.
First down, San Antonio. 17-yard line of Orlando. Again, they go outside to Hess. Another first down. And now it's 1st and goal at the 5.
I think we're going to have an interesting dilemma.
If San Antonio scores, it would be 35-34. And then, Boomer, do you play for the 2-point conversion to win, or do you play for overtime?
Well, I think I tie it because I know I can't get beat by a field goal in overtime because of the rules in the World League. But who knows? Mike Riley just might say, hey, what the heck?
And now we've got a timeout. Orlando. As Don Matthews wants to set his defensive troops.
Cannot get jammed. Fullback cannot get jammed. The fullback, let's go. Yeah, what do you think about that?
That's Mike Riley in the captain headset.
Let's go. Huh? Let's go with it. Okay, how about this right here? Okay, I'll tell you what we do. We run 30 trap. Huh? Tommy, are you hearing me? We got 2 timeouts. Tommy. Yeah. Tommy. Yes. 30 trap? 30 trap. 32 trap. I'm sorry. All right. That'd be fine, Coach. We gotta look at the timeouts though now. Okay. If we don't get it, call timeout. We got 2 timeouts. Let's do it on a trips though. We got 2 timeouts left. Trips right. 32 trap. Let's score a touchdown. Let's go.
Boomer, they're going to give it a look like they're going to pass, and they won't, right?
Well, what they're going to do, they're going to run a trap right up the middle, much like they did for their first score of the game. Now, the one thing that I might not agree with is if they don't score, there's no reason for them really to hurry up and call a timeout. Run some time off of that clock and then try to score in your next time so you don't give the Orlando Thunder that much of a chance to come back and score against you.
Keep in mind, Orlando's scoring drive average has been about a minute.
All right, you watch Under Johnson off the left side behind a big guard trap.
First
there he comes.
At the 5.
There it is.
There he is. Touchdown.
The left guard pulled and made the trap on the inside nose guard, and Under Johnson went right in behind him.
All right, Coach. Do you play for the win or do you play for OT? I think he just put up one finger. Let's go for the point.
They're going, you know, these coaches, they're all conservative, you know.
Yeah, we've had some real conservative football tonight.
Watch your left guard pull. He traps number 70, Under Johnson right in behind him. It's a good play against this defense because of their nature to really shoot the gaps.
Andre Johnson, second touchdown of the night with Jason Garrett, the starting quarterback for San Antonio, a separated shoulder looking on. Teddy Garcia to try to tie it, and he missed it. Boomer, I think the snap was a little low. And John Garrett tried to spot it for him. He hooked it left. The point conversion try to look pretty good right now, wouldn't it?
Well, you know, the player in me
right into a pile of dirt for John Garrett, who tried to get it spotted as you look from the end zone for Garcia.
You know what it looks like to me as I see there, Teddy did not follow through. He just tried to punch it through.
Reaction of the general manager of the Thunder, Lee Corso? Yeah.
You know, the player in me really feels bad for Teddy Garcia. I mean, that's the worst feeling for a kicker. I mean, they are truly alone on an island right now.
Remember, he missed field goals of 38 and 32 yards to end the half. That would have been a 3-point difference in San Antonio's favor. As it is, they're a point short with 1:24 to go. And the good hands team's up there for Orlando right now. They expect the onside. Orlando's got everybody that has ever touched a football within 12 yards of kicker Teddy Garcia.
Here comes the onside kick. The worst play in football if you're a receiving player. And there it goes.
The bounce too high. Flags down as the kick goes out of bounds untouched. Tonight's KFC player of the game. Boy, it came down and got close. But could you ever doubt Kerwin Bell? 14 of 34, 267 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Kentucky Fried Chicken will make a donation of $1,000 in Kerwin Bell's name to DARE, DARE, Drug Abuse Resistance Education. Our congratulations to number 12, who wore our helmet camera tonight and wore it well. And boy, did he see some good things through that face mask tonight. 5 touchdown passes for Kerwin Bell.
That helmet cam must be made of kryptonite.
Is about the color of the Orlando Thunder uniforms. Here comes our second onside kick. After the 5-yard walk-off, Garcia will try it again. There's the shift on. This kick at least hit somebody, but it's an Orlando Thunder player. I think it's your man Simpson who made the grab right in the middle of everybody.
World League on USA has been brought to you by the Reebok Pump. Pump up and air out. By Kentucky Fried Chicken. Nobody's cooking like today's KFC. And by Allstate. For home, auto, life, and business insurance, you're in good hands with Allstate.
The Orlando Thunder, for the first time tonight, don't have to throw the football. They want to use some clock. And they go to the ground, which they have not done that often tonight. But when they have, Myron Jones has normally carried it. You see what we have remaining in the ball game. And a 1-point Orlando lead.
Well, I'll tell you, Brad, I mean, it was an exciting game. I mean, I hate to have it come down to a missed extra point. But unfortunately, that's the way football is sometimes.
The one play that you take for granted so often, that point after. And in this case, a low snap. John Garrett did the best he could to spot it. Teddy Garcia missed it, and Kerwin Bell's going to have to call a timeout with 43 seconds left as he had run out of the 35-second clock. Don Matthews. And what a streak this is going to stop, as Don Matthews and Mike Riley, as CFL coaches last year, played 5 games against each other, and Riley won them all.
You want to go out and go Toronto?
Matthews going to feel pretty good about this one, huh?
Well, I got to tell you, Brad, it's not over yet.
I want you, do that. Go left. Go left. Number 40 goes right. Go left. Don't give it to
St.
Eric.
Louis.
Give it to Jones. Jones is the stronger.
Well, then you'll go left wide, St. Louis 8. One back.
Yeah,
That
Myron Jones about ready to carry the ball again as we take you inside the helmet of Kerwin Bell.
Called the St. Louis 8 will be an off-tackle right side, slanting type play.
Here we go. Hold on to it.
Hold on to the ball.
Left wide, St. Louis 8.
That's the
White,
key.
White, ready.
Hold on to that ball right now. Do not drop the ball. San Antonio will immediately call timeout.
It ain't started.
Jones, nice opening off that right side. And he got about 8 yards. Give him 74 on the night on 13 carries. And San Antonio with the timeout with 35 seconds to play. Mike Riley, I think he's at least got to breathe a little easier having lost his starting quarterback with the job that Saltz did to come in relief and really get San Antonio within striking distance of the win.
Well, it's been a good night. You know, I mean, both of these teams didn't really know what to expect when they came in. I think they found out a little bit about both of their quarterbacks. They know where their deficiencies are in their defense now. One of the things that I know that they were really worried about was their special teams, and both teams have played extremely well with the exception of the blocked field goal and then the extra point that was missed. So both of these teams have something to build on.
You know, it was a rough night for Jason Garrett, starting quarterback. Though his brother John caught a touchdown pass that helped close the gap on this game. He is out indefinitely with a shoulder separation on his throwing arm. I know his mom and dad are looking on.
That's one of those things that I'm sure that hopefully it will not require surgery.
Meanwhile, we have another injury, and that's Carlo Cheatham, who had an interception that helped set up the San Antonio touchdown.
Take it no matter how it comes. 1-0. Start the season off with 1-0, baby.
Eighth of the night. They're going to be if they can blow down 35 more seconds.
Fake move. Dragon 3. White, ready. Fake move. White.
Third down. Mitchell in motion. Jones first down. Quite a bit more. Timeout. Called by San Antonio. They're about out of time. 30 seconds left in the game, trailing by 1.
I was impressed with the receivers and quarterbacks on both sides, and also the running backs. I thought that you know, this is a lot better than what I had thought, what I had really expected, and they've. You know, even the offensive linemen, I mean, who played hard and to score, you know, 35 and 34 points respectively. I mean, there's a lot to be said about that.
We've got 734 yards of total offense, which is not too bad considering these teams have only been together a month each. They held the draft here in Orlando back in the winter time and then got everybody heading in the right direction. Most of the teams trained right here. And Teddy Garcia looks on. Missed extra points, the difference in the game.
No, it doesn't matter if it's an NFL game, a World League game, a Little League game. You know, when you don't want to miss an extra point like that. That's something that just, you know, he'll go to sleep with that, and that will be with him for a long time.
And he'll have plenty of chances down the line to redeem himself, I'm sure, but it looks like Don Matthews is about ready to get wet. First down for his Thunder. Jones again inside. Some tough running by Myron Jones.
That'll be it.
Look out, coach. He loves it. Get him a snorkel. That first win feels good.
First loss doesn't feel so good.
Don Matthews, Orlando Thunder, a winner in front of 21,714 hometown fans tonight. And what a thriller it was. 35-34, the final score. Actually, we still have 1 second remaining on the clock. I don't think San Antonio called a timeout, did they?
I don't think they had timeout to call.
So the Thunder led by number 12, Kerwin Bell, our player of the game. 5 touchdown passes tonight. There is still 1 second up there. I think they did call a timeout. And so they'll clear the field. San Antonio heads back home, and we will see them a week from tonight against the Galaxy of Frankfurt.
Looking forward to seeing this team again.
They hung in tough. They trailed 20-7, fought their way back to a 21-20 lead. And then the game seesawed through the final stages. And as you look down from Airship Shamu, that's the final snap for Kerwin Bell. And now it is indeed final, and this one goes in the books, and the first weekend of the new World League is history. Kerwin Bell's got a big smile, you can bet, inside that helmet.
Way to turn that thing, man.
The quarterback's embrace, 35-34. Orlando winner. We'll have more exciting World League action coming your way next Saturday night. Most of you will see Raleigh-Durham at Orlando. Others will see Sacramento and Birmingham. Next Saturday, March 30th, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Coming up next on USA on the East Coast, it's Miami Vice. On the West Coast, Murder, She Wrote. That's about all she wrote for us from Orlando. For Michael Barkan and Boomer Esiason, I'm Brad Nessler. It's been real, 35-34. So long, everybody.